Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
I'm trying to elevate my mic so that it can come through better for you.
Okay.
My mic headset. Let me see if this works. Okay, I think this works better. Yay! Figured it out.
Yes.
I'm literally using the because see, the problem with Dark Chronicles upstairs is that doing so I lose a lot of the Wi-Fi connection, so I need to get an extender for upstairs. So meanwhile, I have to do my old recording, which is having to come down to the living room, which I'm not complaining. I got the AC, but the problem is that the coffee table is low. So I'm always like hunched over. So now I figured out I'll just use the same box that I have my headset, and actually work because it elevated the mic a lot.
Huh.
So it should be coming through now.
Yeah, you're coming through fine. I can see the bar go up when you talk.
Okay, good.
And then mine, of course. All right, I guess we can start already. And 3, 2, 1. Before we do that. Everybody, a show of hands. Can you hear us just fine? Everybody in the chat room.
Okay, we got 2. We should have these.
Danny can hear us.
See, Danny can, but I don't know if he's actually. He might actually be away from. Although it looks like he's online.
Okay, everybody's accounted for.
Oh,
right.
Good.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's going on? I agree, Martin. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Drew Yari Show, episode 90, I believe. And I'm not alone tonight. I have a returning guest, live from Twitter jail.
I'm from New York. It's not Saturday.
What's your name, inmate number 31795?
It's Trez. It's actually Dark Centrist, but everybody calls me Trez.
It is. It's a nice name.
Mm-hmm.
So, why are you not a hardened criminal from the law?
So, as you can recall our conversation from Sunday, which was an A-B conversation, apparently some prick decided to chime in and make assumptions. And I think it's just the type of person that that's looking for fights. I honestly think that's what it is, because I went through his profile, picking fights with anybody as long as they mentioned Ariel. And the funny thing is that he's the one that said, about a day or even today, he said, oh, as long as, Ariel has red hair and they don't mess with that, then it'll be okay. I was like, wow, that's interesting. So it's okay as long as Ariel has red hair. It's just, whatever. Guy's just retarded. No, I shouldn't even say that. He's an asshole.
No, fuck it, he's retarded.
And then I reported those tweets and I said, hey, this guy's harassing me. I was like, can you do something about it? I was waiting on Sunday. And instead, he probably, if anything, he got like one tweet deleted out of all the tweets that he was harassing us on. And then meanwhile, everything that I wrote got me into Twitter jail. Even the, oh my God, you're an ignorant. What did I call? I said, oh my God, you're so ignorant. But it's okay for him to have ignorant and stupid and racist and all those tweets still up. But God forbid I should say.
I actually have the tweet.
Even that one.
I was going to say, I'm sorry. I actually have the tweets right here.
Oh, great. Even the one that said, the last one that I said, and it was a prayer. Like, I was being sarcastic. I was like, I honestly hope, he shines his light upon you. Even that one got flagged. I was like, how do you get flagged by praying for someone? Like, seriously. But apparently Twitter has it in for me today, or this week.
they've been looking for you this whole time. They were just looking for a reason to bust you.
I know. After like 10 years, there you go.
All right, so the tweets are here. July 3rd. Damn, that's what, like last Wednesday. I just
posted it. Yeah, she posted one of them.
All right, so wait, did he?
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler. Okay, so and then your response was same here, not happy at all. Jodie Benson sells her voice, so I'm confused why she wasn't casted. And then we just went back and forth. And then And then this guy, I don't even know if I should say his name. I don't even know if he's that important for me to say his name.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, why give this prick more attention? It's just,
He and his profile picture is just him with video game insignia with half of his face.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that's why I even compared it so that it's like, okay, if you're not getting what I'm trying to explain to you, I'll bring it to the gaming level because I'm a gamer. I said to him, that's the same thing as if we were to bring back Melina, though she's dead in MK10. Even though she's dead, you can bring her back in MK12. Oh no, but she's dead. Yes, she's dead. But it's the land of make-believe, people. You can do whatever the hell you want because it's the land of make-believe. So my thing is, and my whole thing was, it's like I never once, and you can check my profile, never once did I say, oh, this girl is crap, or this girl has a horrible voice, or why they have a black mermaid. Never. If you can literally scroll down all my tweets, never once did I mention race at all. Oh, but apparently I'm white passing, I'm a bitch. And what was the other one? It's masking racism. I was like, are you serious? I was like, you realize you're talking to a minority over here. There's no masking anything.
Yeah, he's like,
ridiculous.
He's aiming at us. I'm like, for one thing, I'm half Middle Eastern, my girlfriend's Mexican, and one of my closest friends is black. Another one of my closest friends is, guess what, black. And, I'm looking at the tweet right now. Are you both serious? I'm assuming that's how he actually talks.
Yeah.
They should have used Jodie Benson, now 57, to star as Ariel, the 16-year-old mermaid in the live-action Disney film, because she's original voice is still alive. Right, clearly you don't have issues.
Yeah, I'm like, what is wrong with me? So that's why I said then you're an ageist, because if you have no problem with Scuttle being a Chinese woman, if you have no problem with Ariel being a black girl, then why do you have a problem with me saying, hey, what about the original Little Mermaid? Where do we put her voice at? I mean, I'm not saying put her as Ariel, but shit, if you really wanted to, and you're not an ageist, you can totally make this any way you want it. I mean, if you're switching it over to, if like they say, mermaids have no colors, it's right. And that's fine. And I have no problem with her, with Haley playing her. Not a problem at all in that sense. My problem is I'm a 1989 Little Mermaid fan. I've been a fan, I'm going to date myself, since I was 10. So you're going to tell me that to that 10-year-old that's been, that the entire everything, even up to this day, I have Little Mermaid stuff everywhere in the house. You're going to tell me that because of that, you're not going to somehow tribute or bring back Jodie at any level. Like I said, Haley has a beautiful voice. I heard her say, after I was like, well, who the heck is this person? And I started listening. I was like, she has a beautiful voice. But my thing is, if you're gonna have the original music, why not at least do part of your world be Jodie's, or tribute her, or somehow, whether that's a damn picture somewhere in Eric's mansion and pretend that that's Eric's mom, or shit, spin her around. I mean, Eric's parents aren't dead, I assume, so why not have her play Eric's mom or something? Like, if you're changing aspects of the story, then why not give her a part and merit her for what she is? And that's the sad part of it. Like I said on Facebook, and I wanted to say this so badly on Twitter, but it felt like having to pussyfoot because everybody was just up in arms looking for a tweet so you can make it all about racism, even though I was not mentioning race at all. But I wanted to say, and I said it on Facebook today, I said, well, what about, like, you know, like, everybody's up in arms saying this is racist, but you know what? If the reverse would have happened, if it would have been, if you would have taken something like The Princess and the Frog, and you turn Tiana's character, who's a black princess, if you change her and make her a white French Creole, you know, New Orleans girl, everybody would have been up in arms saying it's whitewashing. But it's like, but you know, the reverse is just like, oh, it's diversity, it's okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like, where's the okay? You know what I mean? Or even if you, and I was thinking of this, even if Haley would have been if Haley would have been black, right? If let's say they would have casted someone else to be the Little Mermaid, and I would have said something like, oh, you know, who the hell is this girl? You know, I don't think she would represent Ariel correctly, and she's a white blonde girl. Because the girl that they were originally thinking about had, you know, I heard a voice, I was like, oh, girl's going to sound horrible. And she was saying comments like she's not going to dye her hair red and blah, blah, blah. I was pissed off and this I read 2 years ago. I read this article about this possible girl. This is before Haley was even mentioned, because that was just completely secret. That just was like a big bomb that they just threw on us. But I was pissed off, and I remember I was either tweeting or I was Facebooking, and I was like, who the hell is this girl? Who does she think she is, that she's not gonna embrace the entire role of what it is to be the Little Mermaid? And so I remember I was pissed. But the thing is, if I would have said something about that, and the actress would have been white, do you really think I would have been called a racist? Do you think the whole thing would have been like blown out of proportion, like the way it was for this case? I honestly don't think so.
Well, I mean, that's usually how it is, because, like, you know, like you said, if it was a white actress, you know, if you criticize a white actress, they're just saying you're either criticizing her for her looks, or for her acting ability, or how she looks for the role. Mm-hmm. When it's when it's someone who's not white, it's all like the first assumption is like, oh, it's because she's not white enough. It's like, no, it's because A, B, C, and D. Not everything always has to be about race. At the end of the day, with this girl, the first reaction I had had nothing to do with her skin color. It had more to do with the fact of, who the hell is she?
That's my point. I was just like, that was my first thing. It wasn't even like, oh, she's black. That wasn't even part of my thought process. My first thought was like, who the hell is she? And then I found out Scuttle's a Chinese woman whose name is Aquafina, not spelled like the Coca-Cola water bottle, but literally spelled the way you pronounce it. And I'm like, who the hell is this cast? Then Flounder's some kid, which makes sense because Flounder's a guppy, whatever. And then I'm like, what's going to be next? Is Sebastian going to be a white guy with pretend dreadlocks because he's supposed to be, you know, Caribbean, whatever, and people are going to go up in arms and that shit? Like, I'm waiting for that next bomb. I want someone to tell me who the hell is playing Sebastian. And if that guy's not black, I guarantee you someone is going to go ballistic over that shit. I'm waiting for that one. Exactly, Martin. I've never heard of her. I know when I was talking to my friends at Starbucks yesterday, they were like, oh, they're the twins that have that. I was like, I don't know who the hell they are. I'm like, I know about them now. I know that she's got a great voice. So at least in that sense, you know, it's not like she has a shitty voice. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to bomb the movie. So I feel okay.
What I heard is she's a protege of Beyonce, and that's how she apparently got the job.
Oh, because Beyonce has the Lion King as novel now, and so they gave her Ariel. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to when they made. Well, I probably shouldn't be using this as an example, but it's like when they made that Karate Kid remake and they had Will Smith's dumb son in the movie.
Oh, yeah, I never saw that movie. I'm sorry. It's nothing against. Is it Jaden? I think it's Jaden, right?
Jaden, yeah.
Boy? Yeah, nothing against Jaden Smith. I met his father. I met Will Smith when I was doing the account. Yeah, he's a very nice guy. I did I
would imagine so.
Yeah, you remember the iRobot movie?
Yeah.
This is how I'm dating myself. I think I was like my second or my third year of as an accountant at MTV. And so I was on location for iRobot, and Will Smith passed by the office and smiled, and I was like, hey. Yeah, I got all giddy over Will Smith. Because, I've been a fan since, like, Fresh Prince, so I was like to see him, and now he's doing all these robots, and I'm like the robots. He's doing all these movies, and I'm like the damn accountant for the movie special, which is basically the MTV special to promote the movie. So I was like, yay, look at me. I was like, and now I got to see it. That's how I ended up meeting The Rock too, but but I digress. But yes, you're right. I did not see the Karate Kid remake because, again, I'm a true die-hard Karate Kid fan, and yes, I do watch Cobra Kai, and that's my Karate Kid. And I have nothing against Will Smith. I mean, not Will Smith. Well, not him or his son. Nothing, and I'm sure he did a great job in that movie. But to me, Ralph Macchio will always be my Karate Kid. Always. And not even, and yes, I do not discriminate. And I'm not a sexist because I can actually tell you that the next Karate Kid, which was Hilary Swank, also, I saw that movie, but honestly, I didn't like it. And to me, I was like, that's also not my Karate Kid. No.
Did that movie actually come out in theaters?
Yes, it did.
The Hilary Swank one?
Yeah, no, it did. I vaguely remember seeing the trailer for it. I was like, yeah, not it. Not watching. Because, you know why? Because as a woman and as a girl, during that time, I think everything's all girl power. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for girl power. But my thing is, why was that needed? Why did we need a girl Karate Kid? Like, it made no sense to me. So I was like, yeah, no, wait till... Oh, I saw it when it came on TV because it was free then. And I was like, yeah, this is it. No, doesn't even have the feel of being a Karate Kid movie. So I was like, nope, not my Karate Kid.
So whenever they, I guess we're going to move into a different topic. Whenever they do stuff like that, whenever they take an idea where the main, protagonist is, a guy, and they decide to just shoehorn a woman to that main role, do you think that's an idea that seems like it's more forced instead of a well-thought-out idea?
You mean giving a woman a role?
Like when they decide to remake a movie that was popular where, the main actor or protagonist or whatever was a guy.
Oh, like Ghostbusters?
Yes, perfect example.
Ghostbusters all female?
Yes.
No, I also did not watch that because, again... To me, and maybe it's just me clinging to my past in that sense. Because I'm sorry, but some of the movies that we grew up to were so good that I don't feel like they need remakes.
No,
or live actions or anything like that.
Well, no, what I was trying to say was that I guess you kind of. I guess you kind of.
Sorry.
I guess you kind of already answered it. Yeah.
I guess you're saying is, do I feel that it was like it's forced upon in the sense that, let's do it because, we're like there's a political agenda where like girl power agenda behind it versus, I think it'd be a cool thing and let's do it right. I don't think Ghostbusters, I didn't see it, don't care for it, and I don't think I'll ever watch it just because, again, to me, the original Ghostbusters was fine. That's what I grew up with. I went to the movie theater. Yes, I'm dating myself. I went.
You're not dating. You're not dating yourself. Chill out. You're 20. You're 27 for life.
So yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Sometimes I just feel like, maybe they want to make a quick buck by, pushing a hot topic like, let's make Ghostbusters girls or women and just, and bring it into this era. No. Why? You feel like you need to watch Ghostbusters? Go put on the DVD, the VHS, whatever you have, stream it, watch the original. You don't like it? Oh, well.
And
you didn't live at that time.
What bothered me about the remake was that it had that very arrogance of, I'm going to try and say this without sounding like an ass. It had that kind of it had that arrogance of like, the feminism that, the feminism that people are against, where it's like, men are dumb, and like literally, you can even pull up clips where it shows like Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, or whomever, pretty much just saying if you have a problem with this movie, that means you hate women. That means you have a problem with women.
The thing is, I don't have a problem with women. I am a woman.
Yeah.
I'm a woman. That's just like that's like the same shit that amazes me. It's like, how can you call a minority a fucking racist when you're still a minority, still struggles with the same shit? And don't tell me that all different minorities no, we all fucking struggle the same, and we're all have to deal with the law of the land. And yes, minorities are suffering right now when you're trying to, I'm not going to go political on us, but it's like in everywhere, someone who's a minority is getting a backlash of something. So that's why I was like, did this motherfucker really call me a racist? That's why I was like, and that's the other tweet that got also flagged, was the one that I said, I'm Latina, I'm half Puerto Rican, half Ecuadorian. Tell me, what about that tweet got flagged? But somehow it got flagged. Some in Twitter jail also for that tweet, which amazes me.
Ugh. It's kind of like when I probably maybe went a little too far with this tweet, but it's like when I tweeted at PETA when they were pretty much just talking shit about Steve Irwin. It was like,
gosh, yes, I remember.
What was that? I forget if it was like his birthday, or like, it was like...
I think it was his birthday. Yes, it was his birthday, as a matter of fact. And I remember I saw your tweet, and they were just going off like basically saying something along the lines like how they're happy because of the fact that he abused animals and everything like that. And so it's okay. I'm like, wow. So it's okay for someone, for basically you're saying that to hell with life. Because at the end of the day, he was a family man, and it just, and the way he went down is just horrible.
Yeah, PETA,
they're over the top.
Yeah, that's an understatement. They want to preach about animal safety, or anti-abuse against animals, but at the same time they're euthanizing hundreds of thousands of animals per year. Like, come on.
Well, my only thing would be with them is show me your financials, because I don't give a shit. You're not for profit. I'm sure you're keeping a lot of that profit. And yeah, and that's the thing with whether it's non-profit or profit companies. If you go ahead and basically, how do you say it? Encourage people. Like, if you see, the thing is, if you can get under people's skin somehow, right? And you push them to do something, like if you show them videos of like animals getting killed, right? And you just target someone, like in this case on Steve Irwin, which I don't remember how, I forgot, what was it? Wasn't he Crocodile? I should know this, babe. I'm sorry, but I forget.
Crocodile Hunter.
Crocodile Hunter, right? Yeah, no, I know, because Daddy's always talking about it, and I was like, sometimes I just ADD when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Well, I'm sure they make a profit, and my only tweet to them would be like, show me your financials, because I guarantee you money to the animals, to helping animals. I want to see where that's actually going, because at the end of the day, everything's all about the money. With Planned Parenthood, and no, we're not going to go into abortion topic, but still, that was a tweet to them too, because I'm like, I know you fuckers have a lot of money, and you can say, oh, blah blah blah, my choice, whatever, I don't care. But I'm like, but why don't you tell people what you actually do after that woman leaves that operating? What do you do with the fetus? I was like, you don't want to say how you sell all your stuff and make extra money for it? Oh no, God forbid you say that, because people don't want to think about the ugly side of things.
Boo, so, facts.
That's the same thing with the PETA people. Well, they'll show you all these videos to get you to donate, but where's the money really going?
I just pulled their financials from last year. Revenue contributions $54,285,044. Gross merchandise sales $361,483. Interest, dividends, royalties, and other income $1 million, or I'll just put $1.5 million. Total revenues $56,171,611.
Wow.
So yeah, they're making a dick ton of money. And I pulled up another thing for animals that they euthanize. And this is from last year. PETA took in 2,425 dogs and cats in 2018 and put 1,771 of them down for a euthanization rate of 73%. However, statewide facilities euthanized 26,907 of the 225,879 dogs and cats that were in their custody for a rate of 12%.
And then tell me, and that's just the numbers. But my thing is, what of that is saying, well, we had to do that because these animals were just completely, you can't salvage them. They're just done. Like, you're literally, if you were to try to fix them or keep them alive, the poor animal would have a miserable life. Because that's such a high percentage for you to tell me that that's exactly what's going on.
I don't know. Like, when it comes to, like, numbers, politics, I usually space. I don't do enough research, and at the same time, I kind of space out. But yeah, PETA is just full of shit. At the end of the day,
they are.
They've always been full of shit. It's kind of like, and we'll get into non-politic topics in a bit, but just to finish up, it's kind of like with the Susan. Fuck, I don't know why I'm getting tongue twisted.
The Susan Coleman thing, yeah. Everything at the end of the day is everything goes to the corporation, and it's like what do the people get at the end of the day?
Because I remember CM Punk actually tweeted at him, and a lot of people took it as him being, I guess, bitter. Here's his response: if you're going to give money to a company that claims to raise money for finding a cure for cancer, please do some research. Komen is a scam.
Yeah. Because the money doesn't go to the actual people with cancer. It goes to them and more marketing thing. At the end of the day, for corporations like the WWE, they're write-offs. You can write off any donation. You can write off a Patreon donation on your taxes if you wanted to.
That's crazy.
It's true. Seriously, anybody that donates to Patreon for any show, you can write that off.
Because I remember a friend of mine, like when I posted that on Facebook, she had said, yeah, it's a scam. The CEO will take 60% of the revenue. And, she'll just like dish out, these cute little pink wristbands and pink shirts. But at the end of the day, it's a company and they're still making money off of it.
Yeah, they are. How much? And that's just WWE alone that they're getting the exposure and the money for. But to every other company, come October, that's what they make their budgets from.
Okay. Yeah, I can't find how much they're making. But yeah. Other than being in Twitter jail, how was everything?
Well, it's been a little bit. I guess you could say no. It's been a lot stressful for me because I'm in transition for another job because right now I'm looking for another job. My current job, I'm a freelancer, so my current job ends on Friday. So I've been stressing for the past 6 weeks on, okay, what's my next gig going to be? Which usually happens when you're freelance. If it's staff, you don't have to really worry about that because it takes a little bit longer for them to kick you out. But when you're freelance, once they're done with you, they're done with you. So that's what I've been stressing about for the past couple weeks. And then on top of that, about my shoulder situation. So it's been, for the past 3 days, it's been, so because of that, because I got a shot I got a cortisone shot a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to follow up like in another week or two to see how my shoulder is doing, but it's honestly starting to get stiff again, and it's been really bothering me for the past 2 days. And I think all of it is because I've been stressing.
Yeah, stress is usually it usually creeps up on you when you least expect it.
Yeah. So I know I'm not supposed to stress. I'm supposed to take it easy, but it's a little hard to do when you have to think about, how, because you don't know. It's always a toss. If you don't know whether your next gig is going to start, the following week, or whether your next gig is going to be, you're going to be on a break for 4 months, and then you're just going to have to figure it out.
Yeah, so like that's usually. I'm sorry. I was going to say it's usually like the first thing doctors always say. Don't stress. It's like if you have something for that, I'll be glad to take it.
Yeah, what's interesting? Thank you, Martin. So I was listening to the Bella's podcast. Catching up for the one from last week, and they had this infomercial on CBD, which is a more natural way to deal with inflammation, because a lot of the thing for my arm, I can't take any of the medication that I was taking. I can't take the naproxen, I can't take the Aleve or the Advils, because even though they're anti-inflammatory, they have been messing up my system. So like my gastro doctor seems to think I have an ulcer somewhere, which hasn't been proven, but I'm like, okay, I can understand that. So he was like, lay off of that. And in laying off of that, the inflammation intensifies. So that's why it's stiff. That's why it's starting to hurt. And yeah, I got Tiger Balm and all these other lotions, but needless to say, I need medicine. So in saying that, going back, because that was needy. So the Bellas have this infomercial for, it's beamtlc.com, and it's for this CBD oil that's THC free, and it's supposed to be organic and whatnot. So I'm gonna try it out. I ordered it, so we'll see how that does, because I was even approved by my doctor to get medical marijuana, which I've never smoked marijuana. I do not intend on doing it. It's just not in me. I don't judge anybody that does. I have friends that do, and when they come here and they party, and we have like New Year's Eve, and they want to just chill out and veg out, or whatever they do, that's totally cool. I don't judge, But on the medical side of it, I know it's supposed to be so natural. It's a natural way to get the inflammation out. I just don't want the high for it. So that's why I'm going to try this CBD oil, and hopefully that it works. I got $10 off actually for using their discount.
Oh, really? Interesting. So if that doesn't work, are you just going to switch to weed?
No, that is the CBD. It's actually comes from the marijuana plant. It's just so it gives you it gives you everything that weed gives you with the exception of the high. So like how some people say that they'll smoke because it relaxes them, and it'll just like, if they have pain, it'll take the pain away. But the only thing is, when you smoke it or you vape it, you get high if you use regular marijuana. But with CBD, it's the same thing without the high.
It's kind of like Essentia water, where it's like a Gatorade but minus the sugar and other shit. It still has the essentials that Gatorade would have, but not like sugar or anything. But it has electrolytes and all that. In your case, what you just said, CBD oil. It's like weed, but it's not weed.
It is weed without the high effect. So
okay.
Like if you were to take all the benefits from weed, that's what that CBD oil. It's concentrated marijuana without the high.
Oh, interesting. I honestly never knew about this shit, which is weird because I work at a Whole Foods store. And we have vitamins over there, and I've heard about CBD oil at my store. I just never knew shit about it until now.
It's really good. There's a couple of them. Some of them are what they call infused CBD, in which you're not getting the full effect. You're getting like a portion of it, and then they may mix it with like mint or some other oil to kind of either give it a flavor or just to have a mix of it for no reason. And so that's why you have to look for the brand that has the pure CBD oil in it without any mix in it, because that's how you're going to get the most out of it. Yeah, so like I got that one. I'm trying. I've tried CBD oil in the past that like my boss would, like she'd put it, like one time she gave it to me because I was in dire pain. And actually, it did help as far as for the pain for a little bit, but I felt like I was a little bit off.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that had the THC in it, because I was like, oh, this just feels, you know how sort of like you're in a sleepy mode, but not really? Or like you just woke up and you're like still out of it? That's exactly how I felt. So I'm guessing that the one she gave me might have had THC in it. So we'll see how this one goes, and I'll let you know. But she also gave me a link to another one that's actually capsules, not oil.
I think the only medication I've ever, I was given was when I had my wisdom teeth pulled out, so they gave me Valium. And they gave me something else to deal with, like the, I guess the stress headaches I would get. But Valium was like the main thing to, like, I guess to kind of simmer, like, to kind of calm me down, I guess, and that would knock me the hell out.
Yeah, because those, and that the thing is, like, when I had, after the surgery, they gave me something for, I forgot the name of it, I have it in the counter, something for osteoarthritis, like that's, forgot the name, but that's how strong that medication was. But it was just, I was just completely out of it. Like, that had me super tired, and like I would pass out. And at one point, I did a mix of that and there's some other medication that they gave me, and I was just like wired. I was like, the first night that I had it, that mixed with the other pill, I was just like, oh, am I ever gonna go to sleep? Because I'm completely awake. Like, I felt tired, but I was just 100% alert.
Now, speaking of I guess medication, my mom, she had surgery on her hand yesterday.
Oh, how'd that go?
Yeah, she's fine now. She actually went home on the same day. She's always had hand problems. She's always had what's the word? Arthritis.
Arthritis, yeah.
Pretty much her whole life, she's always had jobs where she's had to be on the phone and sit in a desk and like type a lot. And
yeah, it's the carpal tunnel, right?
Yes, because I know she's had surgery on her hand before. Because she used to work at QVC. Do they have Caremarts over in New York?
Kmarts?
Not Kmart, Caremart.
I don't think so.
I guess that's just a San Antonio thing. But yeah, she worked there, and then she worked at QVC, and then USA. She still works at USA. Well, let me like reverse the timeline. She worked at Caremark, and then USA, and then QVC, and then she went back to USA. So it's kind of messed. Well, not. It's kind of messed up, and not because she just got a raise. She just got an 11% raise at her job, and now she has. Yeah, now she has to take 2 months off, but she's also going to get paid for her 2 months off.
That's great.
Yeah, my mom's like, oh, I'm going to be out for 2 months. I'm like, you're going to get paid. You'll be fine.
I know. Mom would never take on a sick day at all. She'll, and if the rare time she did, I think out of her 17 years of working in a school, she only took one sick day.
My mom, when she was at QVC, like, and I worked there. I worked at QVC for like a few months, and long story short, it wasn't for me. But I worked there, and you would see like, I guess, like one or two people walk around with a clipboard and would say PTO, paid time off, and they would ask anyone, do you want to leave early? You'll get paid for the rest of your shift, yada yada yada. My mom would take any advantage of that PTO clipboard. And then come home, my dad's like, why are you home so early? It's like, PTO? It's like, well, you should work your whole shift. It's like, I'm going to get paid for my whole shift. Relax. It's like, my dad would just, even when there was a logical answer to his question, he would still want to get mad about it. Yeah, I forgot what else I was going to say. Yeah, my mom was telling me this the other day, because she called me to let me know about it. This was on Saturday? Yeah, it was Saturday. And she was telling me about it, and she was like, I haven't heard from you in a while. I'm like, I've been texting you, actually. I text you, and I never get a response. I was telling her, I'll text you, hey mom, hey mom, hey mom, and I'll just, like, kind of be lazy about it. I'm like, hey ma. And she's like, don't call me ma. Are you from New York or something? hey ma. Like, I can't do accents, but... Yeah, so I text her pretty much every day as much as I can, and I get the same response that she wants me to be more creative in my texts. Instead of just saying, "Hey, Mom," she wants me to, like, write a whole paragraph.
Aww.
She was like, "Hey, Mom, this is Andrew. I'm here in my room. I'm thinking about you. I want to talk to you. Here's my day." It's like, isn't that why I would just call you? But I don't know. Moms are moms.
Yeah, no. Mom, it's funny because mom would be the same thing. Like, she's not a texter. I keep trying to get her to text, but she prefers calling. I still try to explain to her, sometimes you just can't pick up the phone. It's easier for you to just send a quick text.
Yeah.
So I got her one time to text, and it was good. And then, I don't know, she doesn't practice it. She's old school. She'd rather hear your voice than actually get a text.
Yeah, moms are usually pretty strict about that. They'd rather talk to their children and hear their voice rather than text. That's weird. I like talking to my mom on the phone. I'll call her and we'll talk for like 30 minutes to an hour, and then it's weird. We won't talk that much. I won't really hear from her that much, or she won't hear from me. But when we actually talk face to face or talk on the phone, we'll like talk for like hours.
Yeah, same here. I try to see her at least twice a week, sometimes even more if I can. But because I used to go to her every single day, but it's gotten a little bit more challenging, especially with my work schedule would be coming in a little later, and then just come home exhausted. So
I try to see my mom as much as I can, but I don't want to get into like a long story. Me and my family aren't that close. I get along with my mom more than anyone else. Other than that, I don't really get along with the rest of my family that well. So
I asked you why, but you said you didn't want to get into it, so I respect that.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
You can always talk offline if you want. You can always talk about that offline if you want.
If any, I'll probably tell you after we get off here. So there's that. Trying to think of something else to talk about. Did you happen to watch Raw or SmackDown?
What did I watch? I think I watched bits. No, I watched the Home Run Derby. That's why I didn't watch full Raw. I mean, we have it on. I don't want to say DVR because that's not true. We didn't DVR, but you know how you switch channels and I have live TV. You can always rewind. So that's what we were doing. Yeah, I heard Extreme Rules is coming up this week. We'll see what that happens. I think Cayman's bullshitting. I don't think he's gonna cash in.
You don't think what?
I don't think Brock Lesnar's gonna cash in. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah, Heyman pretty much just wants to like mindfuck people. I doubt Brock will show up. It seems like something that would maybe happen at SummerSlam or on or around SummerSlam.
That's what I would think. I would think it'd be more SummerSlam, because otherwise, what do you have coming up for SummerSlam, especially when it's literally around the corner, right? It's in SummerSlam because July. Yeah, SummerSlam is next month. So if anything, I would hope that they would save the briefcase now, make it so that he cashes in, not on Kofi, but I want him to cash in on Seth, beat the crap out of him, and then just take away that stupid The Beast Slayer title that he got for that cheap-ass win.
Yeah, Seth, as much as I like Seth hasn't really been, I guess, holding up his end of the bargain as far as being, the savior of Raw. I love Seth. He puts on a great match. When he talks, it just doesn't work out. He's not a terrible talker. He's not like Ricochet, that's for sure. But Seth Rollins just, I don't know. It's like I tell people. I was telling this guy at work the other day. We live in an era of wrestling where we have guys that are very much. Let me rephrase it. They're in very good shape. They can go out there and give you a match, but you put a microphone in front of them. It's like It's like a 12-year-old boy doing a junior high play.
Right. Well, that's why Brock has Paul. Can you imagine Brock Lesnar trying to cut a promo?
I've heard Brock Lesnar kind of promo. It's not very good.
No, that's what I'm saying. But can you imagine him trying to do that as opposed to Paul doing it on a day, every time? I don't want to say daily because he's never showing up on Raw as often as as he's supposed to. But imagine take away Paul from Brock, and it's like, oh, now we gotta hear you talk. And yes, as a video package, when you could do multiple shoots and retakes, sure, that could work. But when you're live and it doesn't work. You definitely need Paul.
Well, it's been proven that with Brock, whenever they do pre-recorded video packages of him, it works out because that's where you have editing. Also, I was going to tell this story about Brock. Paul Heyman was on Talk Is Jericho 5 years ago. It was an episode where he was on the same show with Edge. He was telling the story about how he came back to the company, where before he came back, that's when Brock Lesnar came back. And this was like in 2012. And the story was that Brock gave a promo in the ring that was so just god-awful. He literally walked to the back with the microphone still in his hand, went up to Vince and just put the microphone right in his hand and said, "Do not ever put a microphone in my hand ever again." And then, Vince is like, "Well, what do you want to do?" And he goes,
"Wow,
call Heyman." That's literally the story according to Paul Heyman. Because at the time, and this isn't true, John Laurinaitis his mouthpiece.
Was that when he was trying to be GM?
Yeah, he was doing the whole people power thing. No, this is actually, this was when he was the GM. Paul Heyman.
Look at that, and it worked out because he needs Paul.
Yeah, he definitely needs Paul. It's he suffers from Mike Tyson syndrome. He has an intimidating look, but he has a very soft voice, and that just doesn't work for him.
Yeah.
So, also,
definitely knock you out. You just you.
Oh no, he could
try not to laugh.
He could beat everyone's ass. You just don't make fun of his voice because he'll more than likely tear your head off.
Question him. Yeah, just question him about his voice.
Why are you making fun of his voice? I wasn't Brock. I wasn't making fun of your unusually girlish voice. What? I'm sorry. Yeah, Rod. Actually, I watched, I guess, some of it because I got early enough to watch it, and I fell asleep, and then I woke up, and I caught, I guess the end of it where it was Drew McIntyre and Shane versus Roman Reigns and the Gary the Janitor, whatever the fuck his name was.
Yeah, they said that they were gonna put. That was total bullshit. That's when they were gonna give you you to stand there, and I just turned standing. I was like, well, union work from his job, risk workers' comp and getting this guy fired so that you guys can give him $5,000 and he can stand in the ring. I was like, give me a story that's more believable. That's bullshit. You would do that to a union worker.
Yeah, and what kind of didn't make sense was the fact that they ended up, McIntyre and Shane ended up going over. It's like, why were you building up this storyline for a week and then you pick a guy who's supposedly a janitor and then you replace him with an actual wrestler and then you end up beating them anyway? It's like, would it have been a better story to have him win?
Who was the, wait, if it wasn't him who, because I didn't watch the end, who did it end up being?
It ended up being Cedric Alexander.
Oh, look at that. And then who?
I'm sorry?
Who won the match?
McIntyre and Shane.
Yeah, that makes no sense. I would have assumed that it would have been Roman who got the win for that after that, because it just didn't make sense.
This whole thing with Shane is really going to end. it should have ended a long time ago. Like, when Shane first came back, which was 3 years ago, it was a nice moment, but they have already killed sympathy for Shane. Because it's like, you look at all the McMahon family members, hate all of them. I mean, we're supposed to hate all of them. And Shane was always going to be the one that was considered the least hated. Now, it seems like he's on Stephanie McMahon level.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the one that everybody liked. Because when he came back, he got such a big pop. Even me, like, he finally back, let's see what he's got. But it's just like, I'm like, what are you doing, man? Really? And
I'd like to think that he's not pushing for himself to be on TV. Maybe this is, Vince saying, we need you on TV, we need a heel or whatever. But it's just, like I said, he's on Stephanie McMahon level. He might even be close to Triple H level. Actually, I think there's still people that like Triple H because they look at. I like Triple H too. Like, here's the thing, I've never hated Triple H. I can see why people hate Triple H, but I don't despise him the way people do. You know what I mean? Because and again, a lot of ADD in this conversation, we're going back and forth. But, yeah, with Triple H, it's like, I think with Triple H, he's no dummy. I think he knows what people are saying about him in the dirt sheets. So he's looking at it as like, I'm not a wrestler anymore, so I gotta do something. I gotta work with creative. I still have a wrestler's mind. I know how the business works. He's in charge of NXT. He made NXT. Was he 100% responsible? Probably not. We shouldn't give him too much credit. Let's not give him too much credit. But yeah, he was largely responsible for NXT.
I'm telling you, every takeover that we have in Brooklyn for SummerSlam, always great. Like, I'd rather go to that any day of the week than go and actually attend the SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Because the takeover always ends up actually taking over that weekend.
Yeah, like, it's weird because, like, I think a few weeks ago or last month, I just randomly turned on an episode of NXT, which, appears every Wednesday. I had not been catching up with the NXT shows, only the takeover specials or whatever. And so I turned on NXT and I just realized, wow, I'm actually entertained by the show. It's not just guys standing around in the ring and talking for 20 minutes. I mean, granted, the show I was watching began with guys standing in the ring and talking, but it was actually an entertaining segment because you had guys like Adam Cole, baby, the rest of the Undisputed Era, and then you had Velveteen Dream, Matt Riddle, going back and forth, and it was entertaining because you had guys who were entertaining. You had guys who knew how to talk, and not someone like Baron Corbin, who's apparently a teenage heartthrob. Who's apparently a teenage heartthrob, mind you.
What do you mean, apparently? Does he believe that, or who the hell is saying that?
Oh, you don't know.
Something?
Oh, you don't know.
Have I been in Twitter jail that much?
Oh, I forgot you're in Twitter jail. Yeah, let me pull this up real quick.
Yeah, please do, because the funny thing is that I go to Twitter, and first of all, I don't know if if anyone's actually gotten used to the fact that I'm not on it, because whereas before I used to get some type of interaction, now I'm like, I don't see anything. Like, I see like if I'm on it right now, I'll see the tweets, but I'm like, the only way I know if I got a notification is if I exit Twitter, completely close the app, and then I get the little red bubble on my phone. And I was like, oh, I guess someone must have said something.
Alright, so ringsidenews.com. News study shows Baron Corbin is a heartthrob with the younger female demographic.
True though, I thought those were, and no offense to anybody that's listening from there, but I thought that was like fake news. That has to be like troll news or something.
I hope it is.
Like, seriously, who the hell will, I know, and take this back to him, because I don't want his trolls to be after me, but seriously, who finds him that way? Like I said to, when did I say? I think I said this for Dark Chronicles. People want me to like this Lacey Evans character, and they're trying to get me to like her and whatnot. And then on top of that, you add Corbin out of all the wrestlers you can add to her. you attach Corbin to her. I was like, yeah, nice try, because now you're really not getting my attention.
Well, he's a heartthrob, Trez. I mean, come on. How could you not be attracted to those tattoos that he got done at the mall in one day? Or
I knew that because I was like, I remember seeing him with a chess piece. I'm like, what? Like, whatever.
Or that sexy Applebee's waiter vest.
The ladies with the Applebee's waiter look. What am I missing? What Applebee's waiter look?
It's saying right here.
I saw him on Monday, but that's what it says.
Baron Corbin is big with the 14 to 22 female demographic. I'm just reading a quote here.
They're little girls. 14 to 22 is like, no, they're little girls.
His fans mimic the ones Jeff Hardy had back in the day, according to a recent study.
Okay, this has to be fake news. You're going to compare Jeff Hardy, who's still good looking and actually can wrestle and takes risk and whatnot, to Corbin. I'm sorry, who the hell's thinking that? Like, and if that's that to me sounds like fake news. But if that were to be at any minimal level legit, I'd be like, oh, it's this era. It goes well with this era of thinking. That's the only way I can think about it.
I'm telling
Seriously, because who the hell would actually think this?
I'm telling you, at Extreme Rules, he needs to come out to Sexual Chocolate to Mark Henry's old theme.
Gosh. Oh my gosh, no. I can't even stand him like the way he is, and let alone have. Oh no.
And you know what? It's like,
or come out to Val Venus music. You know that? Hell no.
Hello, ladies. He just comes out with a towel, and Lacey just like pulls it off.
And Lacey pulls it off, right? Oh, you know what the crazy thing is, that I actually believe that shit. Like, that would actually, like, I can actually visualize that. And I'm like, I wouldn't put it past them. They would actually try to sexualize them.
Oh my god.
Ew! No!
Big Danny.
Oh my gosh.
Like, you know what? And I showed my girlfriend the article, and she's like, "What? Who?"
That's gotta be fake news.
It is fake. It has to be fake news. Fake news. But yeah, Baron Corbin. He's the new Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
No, my gosh, no. I mean, you know, like, to me, and I know Kevin always says bullshit when it comes to me saying, like, I seriously see them as athletes. I don't see the, like, I'm not attracted to them. They're all good-looking guys. Like, I could say, like, out of all of them, I'd say, you know, honestly, I like Drew McIntyre. He's got the look. He's tall. You know, he's definitely attractive. Like, but like, it's not like I'm like, ooh. No, I don't want Baron Corbin tats. Ew, no.
Do it, Danny.
No. You're asking to get your ring back, right? I can't believe it's not possible.
If you guys can't tell already, tonight we're recording on Discord. Tonight, or just today, I decided to start my own Discord channel, which I actually put on Twitter, which you can find on Twitter. So, yeah, join with the Discord chat, and you can be interactive with the show. So far, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it actually is. I like it. I don't know if we'd be able to do something like this for Dark Chronicles, because we got so many questions that we're always trying to beat the clock, because we always have to be off the air by midnight. So I imagine it'd be a little bit difficult for us to, you know, to look at the chat and try to answer everybody's questions.
Speaking of Dark Chronicles, I am so sorry for asking that question about cats.
What question about cats?
I had asked you and Kevin, what was your first cat, what was her name, and...
Oh, no, that's fine.
I was cutting the grass, because, whenever I do, activities, cut the grass, yard work or whatever, I just, put on a podcast, put on music or whatever, so I decided to, put on Dark Chronicles, and I was literally fucking, in tears, cutting the grass the whole time, because I'm thinking, oh, shit. Because I was like, I hope I didn't bring up, bad memories or anything.
I mean, it's interesting because, where I have right in front of me is where I have Mishi's ashes and his picture. So it's I've gotten as we're recording this, I'm staring at it, but it's fine. But it's gotten better throughout the. I think if let's say this was a month from when he passed, or forget about it, I would have been bald, and I still do. If I still when I think back about it, I can make myself cry, because then I ask myself, did I do the right thing? Did I take care of him the way I wanted to take care of him? Then I get emotional. But no, the question was really good. Thank you. It's always good to to get personal. That's what I always tell people. You can always get personal as long as you're respectful about it.
Yeah, there's some things I'd rather just keep to myself. But at the same time, I have no problem with kind of bearing my soul to people. And then there's things where I think in my head, I know if I talk about this, I'm going to either get really pissed off, or I'm going to start crying like a baby, and I look ugly when I cry, so nobody wants to see me cry. So, yeah, I look really ugly. But you can't see it. So, yeah, it really hit close to home, because, we've lost a lot of, cats and animals, over the past years, and when I think about it, it hurts. I miss all of them. We recently lost a cat not too long ago, and with my girlfriend, she never took pictures of the cats. I mean, she took pictures of some of the cats. I'm usually the one that's always taking pictures of our cats and animals and putting them on social media. Our cat Selena's, because I called her Selena, because I was like the whole anything for Selena's. So, and I would
nice.
And I would always call her Selena's, mainly when she was doing something she wasn't supposed to, if she was getting on the counter or scratching the furniture, I would go, Selena's, and she would give me that look, and she would give me that look like she would give me that look like I was bothering her from doing something important. We lost her back in February, and I'd rather not get into what happened, because it's too much. So my girlfriend was telling me I'm going to have to see pictures of her, because I forget what she looks like because of what happened. And yeah, it's still pretty hard to talk about, but
I know.
Yeah, she was a pain.
It's always hard.
She was a pain in the ass, but I still miss her.
Well, Mishi was just a man hater.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Hated men.
Literally hated men.
Yeah, if you were a girl, sweet on. If you were a guy, it's like, get the fuck out of here, I'll claws out, I will. Yeah, he was a total man hater. He would just, it's like, I think it had to do with, and I swear we might have traumatized him when I got him neutered, and I think it was a combination of, I feel like ever since we got him neutered, he kind of changed. But needless to say, it was a male vet who gave him, who neutered him. So I think ever since then he hated vets, because when we had to take him to the vet, it was such a big hassle, because that's what I was telling you in Dark Chronicles. The one vet that I ended up taking him was like, well, you can't bring an aggressive cat in here. You have to sedate him and then bring him in, And I did sedate him, and then he flatlined on me. And ever since then, it was just like, everything just went down the line for him. So.
Yeah, I mean, just looking back, and it's like 10 years ago, I never thought I'd be, such a, not just a cat person, but just like an animal person. My girl kind of turned me on to being more of a, I guess, an animal lover. Because I remember when we first got together, I was never really much of a cat person. I was like, well, I kind of like dogs, but, I just thought of animals as just animals. Then, when you get into a serious relationship with a girl who actually, really loves cats, and she happens to have more than one cat, you kind of grow attached to those cats. And, I think of them as not just my cats, I think of them as my kids, almost. I get very protective and, loving of them. I would do anything for them, even if I was broke, I would find a way, to, buy their food for them or take care of them. Even though they drive me crazy, and I still have scratches all over my arm, because of them.
You can cut their nails, right? Not, and I don't mean the claw. I mean, literally cut the tips of their nails so it's not sharp.
That doesn't bother me. I'd rather keep their nails. But forget what I was gonna say. When me and my girl first started, dating. I remember I came to her house for the first time. Her cat Pedro, who's basically the grandpa for all of our cats, currently. He obviously didn't know who I was, because I remember I was sitting on the couch and I didn't see him. All of a sudden I turn around, he's literally right in front of my face, and he's just looking at me like, "Who the hell are you? Why are you in my spot?"
They can get very territorial.
Well, he wasn't really territorial. He was kind of a very mild-mannered cat, but he just sees me and he's like, "You're sitting in my favorite spot in the whole house." And then,
That's what I mean.
And then over time, when I actually started staying here more, and eventually when I moved in, I actually started, me and my girl, obviously we share the same bed, and again, he would give me that look of like, "That's my spot on the bed." And over time, he started to love me a lot more, and he was one of those cats where if he wanted to get on you and sit on your chest, he was going to get on you and sit on your chest. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, I just remember I was playing a video game late at night, and then he tries to get on my chest, so I just kind of like, not like push him off, but kind of like slowly like move him, like, "No, don't get me." And he's still trying to move. Yeah. I don't know how the fuck it happened. He ends up getting on my fucking chest. He literally ends up sitting on my chest. He has his nose right in my face, and I'm trying to like look at the screen while I'm trying to play a game, and he just falls asleep on my chest. So
they're good like that. They're good like that. Like, Tiki's always looking for attention. She's always like such a mama's girl. And she's got it down right with the schedule, because she'll wake me up lately. Well, especially lately, she'll wake me up around 7:24. Now, mind you, my alarm is either set up at 7:30 or 8:00, depending which boat I want to take to go to work. And she'll wake me up before the alarm, and I'm like, "You need to go back to sleep." And even on the weekends when she'll try to wake up early, I'm like, I say it's sheepy time, so that she gets to like go to sleep, and then she'll leave me alone. But if I have to wake up, and then I'm like, go wake up Danny, she won't wake him up. She'll just literally lay right next to him and not wake him up. I was like, "You gotta be kidding me." Yep, she is such a sweetheart.
I don't really think. Pedro was our only cat.
Girl, exactly.
Pedro was our only cat that would actually like wake us up. All of our cats don't really do that. But yeah, I miss that cat. He was such a good cat. We lost him a couple years ago. It sucks.
It is. I love how they're all different personalities. Like Mishi inherited my OCD. So Mishi would be one, and he was all that's why I sometimes say, like, and no, not to offend the girl cats, because she's very sweet, but I feel like my boy, he was like on point. Him and I would be so in sync that it's like I come home and I'll be like, "Mishi," and he'll respond, "Meow." Like, whereas now I'm like, "Tiki," and she'll come down, but I don't get the meow. And I was like, "Oh, I gotta chase you. I gotta figure out if you're up there somewhere," which is different. But with me, she would be so OCD that it's like, if God forbid I let his litter go bad, like his litter had to always be spotless, and he shared litter with her. So, like, she has a horrible habit, and I think it's because she got her used to it, or maybe because, I don't know, she never picked up the idea of if I poop, I gotta scoop it. Not scoop it, but, like, I gotta cover it so the shit doesn't stink. She doesn't believe in covering shit. She just believes in, like, going, pretending like you're, like, what she'll do is she'll pretend to, like, move the litter. And then she'll just come out, and I was like, it's not how it works. It's supposed to cover it, and she does not cover at all, which is horrible.
Yeah.
She, on the other hand, would used to. He literally would go in there, smell the litter. If he smells anything, he'll just stay there covering until it's like completely covered and clean. Even her shit, like, she'll do that same thing, and he'll immediately go in there and start covering it.
One of our cats, it's a black cat named Shade, or Shadow, but we call him Shades. We've had to keep him outside. Well, he's usually an outside cat, but he likes to come inside and, chill. Before it gets, like, really late, we throw him back outside because he has this habit of shitting literally in our sink.
Wow.
I'm not even kidding. Literally shitting in our sink. And, like, because before he would shit in our tub, and it's like, dude, what the hell is your problem? And then then he graduated to shitting in our sink.
Oh my gosh.
So we can't keep him inside overnight anymore because I don't know where he got that bad habit. Before you ask, before you ask, we have 9 cats.
9? Wow.
Yeah, because it's like our cat Evie, who, again, is the grandma. It was one of those things where it's like, okay, we're going to go get her fixed. And then 7 years later, that never happened. But not all of them stay inside at the same time. I think only really 3 actually stay inside. The rest of them usually sleep outside. And
it's not bad. At least it's not like all nine of them. Because I was thinking, wow, what are you going to do for litter?
Yeah, again, it's like, yeah, that would cost us a fortune on litter. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I was like, 9 cats. The only thing I was thinking is litter. I know you got to feed them regardless. They're the babies. But I was just like, that must be crazy litter scooping or whatnot.
Well, also, like, when I feed them, it's easy because, our cats are mainly, like, snack cats. They don't eat a whole lot. All you gotta do is just give them food and they'll eat it. So I always find a way to ration out their food. Going back to what you said, our cats pretty much match. They have a good personality, but they also match their names, which is weird. Our cat Edie, she's the alpha male, or the alpha female of pretty much the whole litter. Everyone's afraid of her. She pretty much hates all of her children.
Aww.
Like, if her kids try to come near her, I'll just hear, like, she'll just, smack them in the face. And we'll be like, Evie, that's your child. And she's like, I don't give a fuck, get him away from me. As soon as I grew up. And then there's Pepper. And then there's Pepper, she's the chief lotta of the group. Our cat Hoot Hoots. She literally looks like an owl. She has these really large eyes, but she's one of those cats where it's like the lights are on but nobody's home. She does this thing where she sticks her tongue out. Like, she sticks the tip of her tongue out.
Aww.
And it's so adorable. She also does this thing that scares the shit out of us, where she'll actually sleep with her eyes open.
Oh, wow.
And it scared the shit out of my girlfriend one time, because she thought that she was dead. And so she woke her up, and she's like, what? Who else am I missing? Our cat Chili, who, again, she lives up to her name. She's she thinks she's a little cutie pie. Our cat Raspberry, again, lives by her name. And then the other outside cats, we have a cat literally named Handsome Rob. Like,
what was the cat's name?
Handsome Rob.
Oh, I thought you said something robbers. I was like, what? Wait, I didn't come out through.
I didn't name him, but like I don't know if you ever seen the movie The Italian Job.
No.
It's the remake with Mark Wahlberg and everything. There's a character Jason Statham plays in it named Handsome Rob, and again he lives up to his name because he has that attitude of I'm handsome, I can do whatever the hell I want. You're gonna clean up my shit and feed me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, because I wasn't there, but I remember when they were getting him fixed, like when my girlfriend went to go take him back from getting fixed, literally all the nurses in unison said, "Bye, Handsome Rob."
Aww.
And it was like, is this like a rap video or something? Like LL Cool J or whatever? Like, the ladies love Handsome Rob.
Aww.
And then there's the rest of our cats, Pharaoh and Rocket. And I think I'm forgetting somebody. Nope, that's about it. But, yeah, those are my kids. All 9 of them.
Mm. Well, that's pretty awesome that you have 9 of them and you're taking care of them. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, they stay in they pretty much stay in the same spot in our front yard in the driveway. Our cat Shades, we don't know where the fuck he goes.
Did you see that article that Kev posted about a week ago about that woman that was like boiling kittens or poisoning? No, was it boiling puppies and poisoning kittens and making their kids watch?
I couldn't read it, but I know you said that I think you got suspended for commenting on it.
I got Twitter jail because I said, what if we watch her boil instead? And then I said something about a fucking bitch or something like that, and apparently someone got triggered over that response. Either that or the, I don't know. I was trying to figure out because I was like, maybe there's a Twitter bot, but I was like, I don't think so. I use the word bitch a lot and fuck, so I really don't see how that would flag it. So someone clearly has to be looking through my shit and trying to flag shit. That's what I'm thinking.
It was probably the woman. It's probably the woman who boiled the puppy. She saw it and she's like, "Oh yeah," but yeah, stuff with that. It's like I know Kev. He made a good point about it. He was saying something along the lines of, stuff like this. You need to be aware of it. You can't just turn your back on it. Which
you're right.
That makes sense. But I know if I read about something like that, it's going to scar me. I'm just going to get pissed off reading it.
Yeah, I was just. That's the kind of thing that really gets under my skin. Like, if I hear something about when it comes to animals and being abused, forget about it. There's no mercy when it comes to that. At least on my end, I just know. Like, especially God forbid that ever happens in front of me, I think that would trigger a part of me that it would be just like I'd probably end up in jail for it, like in real jail, not Twitter jail. It's not cool. That's why I just replied in rage because I was like, what if we watch her boil, fucking bitch or something like that, and then I just went off in my day, didn't go on Twitter till the next day, and they were like, oh, this violates, hate. And I was like, are you kidding me? Or violence tweet. Oh, I'm like, I don't know who the hell is flagging that shit, but I'm like, really? Not necessary.
Yeah, it's just like,
so I think because I got flagged once, and that was like a week ago, and then I got flagged again. I think that's probably why I got Twitter off jail for that long.
I don't know. When did Twitter become such a snowflake site?
I know. I was thinking that because I remember just a couple years ago we could talk about anything. And shit, there's actually people on Twitter even now that just curse people out and just use any kind of words and say anything, and they never once get locked out of their account. And I'm like, and I use it once, and then all of a sudden I'm just. And the thing is, for this guy, I ended up reporting him, saying I'm the one that's being harassed. We're being harassed because who the fuck is he? Don't know where he came from, and yet I'm the one that gets suspended for a week or whatever. Like, see, I got 5 days and 10 hours to go. I can't even like your tweet.
It's like, damn it, let me retweet something. I'm going nuts here.
It's like all this shit, like the Enzo Amore bullshit attention grabbing, Twitter trending, social media trending bullshit fight that you're trying to pick on. I was like, I can't even comment on that because I really would have been like, seriously, you're just trying to trend right now because you two motherfuckers were not even trying to fight.
Yeah, because I saw that, and the sentence I hear is Enzo Amore and Joe Janela get into a fight at a Blink 182 concert, and immediately I think one of these things is not like the other. Like, why would you get into a fight at a Blink 182 concert? Are you two preteen girls that are getting into a fight over one of you is kissing the boy that they like or something? So what the fuck?
Yeah, and then it's also at a Blink 182 concert. It's like it's not even at some metal show or whatnot. It's fucking Blink 182. It's like you're trying to pick a fight there. It's like, well, what of? And then it's like you're not even picking a fight. That's why I was like, you motherfuckers are just trying to trend on Twitter, trying to get your names out there so that you're the flavor of the week.
Say it ain't so.
Mm-hmm.
I will not go. Turn the lights on. Carry me out.
Yeah, apparently, apparently Blink 182 is still relevant.
There's a lot of shit that I didn't even know was still relevant. Like stuff like now I'm dating myself, but back when I was in middle school, it's like Blink 182 was huge then. So was Papa Roach, and then nowadays they're still making music. All about Papa Roach too, but it's like, wait, they're still making music? Like what? Like
yeah, no, but it's and you're and then here's me dating myself when I first started MTV. That's when I want to say Papa Roach first got into the scene. Yeah. It was like year one, I think. I want to say, and you guys can correct me, but from my understanding, I believe it was MTV that discovered Papa Roach.
Okay.
I might be wrong, but at least from what I've heard, it could be complete bullshit because I was also working with a group of people that were bullshitters too.
Mm-hmm.
But that was my understanding, and then also Blink 182. I know I worked with them, didn't meet them, but I think I saw them at a distance. I was never a Blink 182 fan, simply because I know they were making fun of the boy bands at that time, and plus I believe also the main singer, didn't he, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought he left the band and ended up becoming, what was it, like, he's not a paranormal investigator, it was something along the lines. Like a conspiracy theorist or something.
Mark Hoppus or something?
Was it him?
I know.
Him?
I know what you're talking about because the other guy, Travis, whatever. That's
Tom DeLonge. Is that what he's saying?
I guess I was way off. But yeah, I remember that. I remember that because I remember Soup was actually talking about it. That he was actually on Joe Rogan's podcast, and like Joe Rogan was trying to ask him questions about, I guess his theories or whatever, and his response to literally everything was, "I can't give up my sources." And it's just like, so why even be on my show?
Wow.
But yeah, Blink-182, I was not really too big of a fan of them. I liked a few of their songs, but that's about it. To this day, I'm still a fan of of Disturbed. I love Disturbed. I was also going to say, because you were talking about where you're working at. Apparently, San Antonio founded a lot of acts that are still kind of relevant today. And I literally didn't know this. What the fuck? I just got an Amber Alert.
You're getting an emergency. Yeah.
I got an Amber Alert.
Amber Alert or something's coming up in your city.
But I was going to say, like, apparently the local studio here in San Antonio, the local radio studio or radio show, they actually found Justin Bieber.
Well, it's Justin Bieber.
Well, because I was going to say, like, this is what... I'm not a fan either, but, he's still a big name. But, like, the story is, the local, radio studio found him. And this is before he was nothing. This is before he looked like a little girl singing. And then, whenever he made it big, he didn't acknowledge the fact that the radio channel here, found him and put them on the map. So it's like, yeah, go fuck yourself, dude. So,
Wow.
another, I think Mudvayne actually got their start at one of the clubs here in San Antonio.
Really?
That's what I heard. That's the story I was told. That Mudvayne got their start at I think a club called the White Zebra here in San Antonio.
Oh wow!
Oh no, not White Zebra. That's a strip club. I think it was called White Bunny.
Look at you getting them confused.
Hey,
I would assume White Bunny. I would assume White Bunny would have been the strip club, not Zebra.
it's like they're both like I got the wrong animal. So, it's like
See,
wrong.
but I feel like White Zebra sounds more of like a club versus White Bunny. When I think of bunnies, I'm thinking, like the Playboy bunnies. So I would assume that would have been the strip club.
Yeah,
Experiment Rhino. What? Was he?
it's a strip club.
Oh, okay.
But
How do you know?
hey, I'm not getting involved in this.
Yeah, how do you know?
Martin Miller actually left us a question on Twitter. He said if you could erase a TV show you really like from your brain or rewatch it again from start to finish, what show would that be and why?
I got 3 of them, so bear with me. The first one would definitely be Felicity. I love that show. I loved it from season 1. Then when I felt like they were trying to fuck with the character around, when they had her cut her hair, and I was like, oh, they're taking, they're going to make her a lesbian. And I was like, no, I'm not feeling them. Because my thing is, sometimes I feel like storylines are fine the way they are, and then they want to, put a twist to it that I'm just like, why is this needed? Like, I don't know. Felicity is one of those shows that I can relate to by heart. And so I skipped season 2. I ended up catching back when toward the end, right in season 4. So the way I watched it is I watched season 1, then I jumped into season 4, and then I watched backwards season 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how you spell Felicity, Danny. Whatever. But anyway, yeah, so I love that. I love I love how it, and I don't know if anybody's seen Felicity, but to me it was, and I think I was around her age. Maybe I think I had just graduated college, so I know that whole stress of trying to be not the new city thing, but just being in a new school, meeting new people, trying to get with the program, and trying to figure out what major you want to go, and if you do the and if whatever, and yeah, Home Improvement was a really good show. I never got into Sons of Anarchy or Breaking Bad, but I was
heavily into Sons of Anarchy, but go ahead, you go.
Yeah, so yeah, that would be the one show, just because, and even like it gets you hooked. To me, I don't know, maybe it's a girl show, maybe it's not a girl show, but to me it got me hooked because it's like, oh shit, like she likes one guy and then there's drama here, and then she loses her virginity, and I was a virgin at the time that show was going on. I was like, I totally understand all the shit that's going on, like, and sometimes I'd be like, you get so into it, you want to be like, what the hell you're doing? You're screaming at the screen. So I definitely enjoy that one. And not to take it even further back, I'd say my other show that I watched start to finish would be, and I still actually watch it, and we have our rewatches on Twitter, would be Sliders.
Mm-hmm.
It's the sci-fi geek in me.
Wait, you're a fan of Sliders? You're a fan of Sliders?
Mm-hmm. We have rewatches once every month at least, or once every 2 to 3 weeks.
Mm. Yeah, you're like a very big fan of that show, because I see you post a lot of Sliders stuff.
Yeah, I'm a huge Sliders fan. Let's put it this way: when I was in college and I had to do a web page, no, not web pages, but actually create a website, and we're talking about GeoCities time. Yeah, I'm dating myself again.
You're fine.
Yeah, I did my website based on sliders, so it was basically like not a review of the show, but more so like a quick synopsis in every single episode for each of the seasons, and I had to create like the feel of the vortex. And this is early when when internet just started kicking in, and you were able to play around with web pages and everything like that. So, oh really? It says someone else knows the sliders. Yes. I'm a diehard sliders fan. And check this out. Rob Floyd, who replaced Jerry O'Connell for Quinn Mallory, actually does follow me on Twitter. So yes, it took me a minute to kind of just was like, who the hell's this guy? And let's hashtag not like Quinn. And you know what? And it's so true, because I was just like such a JLC fan, and that's who I saw as my Quinn. But the funny thing is that it's like I saw season 5, and some people were like, "Oh, season 5 sucks." So I actually liked it, and I like Rob's acting in it. I think he did a great Quinn Mallory, but I feel like, and I know you probably don't have no idea what I'm talking about, but basically what they ended up doing is they ended up telling you some crazy story of how Jerry O'Connell face changed to be Rob Floyd's. So I think that's so, as opposed to just like, because you can't kill a main character off, it's just like murdering the entire series. So what they did is they just were like, well, something happened in the vortex, and ta-da, you get this guy now. That really pissed off a lot of people. And so it's like, so because we are all like diehard Jerry O'Connell fans, and then he's like, here's this poor guy, it just has to step into this role, and he did a great job. I feel like if he would have been a standalone character without actually being named Quinn Mallory, or saying that bullshit of like he took over him, then I think everybody would have loved him. So that's one of the shows that would have been. What is he saying about what? Why is he saying that I'm going to change the locks on him? He's trying to see. This is how I ADD. Exactly like this. And anyway, there was a third show, but now I forgot because he just made me ADD on it. Oh, and the other one was Xena the Warrior Princess.
Yeah. Again, another thing you and my girl have in common.
Really? She's a big Xena fan?
Yes, she is. To my knowledge, she is. She's a big Xena fan. She loves Lucy Lawless.
Lucy Lawless is awesome. I would love to get the chakram. Like, I want one of those. That and Cena's sword. I would love to have that. But I know those are expensive, too.
It was weird. I liked when she showed up on Parks and Recreation. When she played...
Oh?
You can see Lucy Lawless naked.
Yes, you can. And I do not need to see her naked. Thank you very much.
Interesting.
But for anybody else that does want to see Lucy Lawless naked, yes, Spartacus is such a great show.
As far as shows that I would want to rewatch, or erase from my brain, rewatch again, Supernatural. That's one show.
Is that the one? Remind me, what show is that one? Is that the one with
It's with it's with the two brothers, and then they hunt like monsters, demons, stuff like that.
That sounds pretty cool. I haven't seen it. I know the name of it, but I don't think I've seen an episode.
Yeah, Kevin knows about it. Kevin, I don't know if he watches anymore, but he knows about it. But fun fact about Supernatural, that's how me and my girlfriend kind of got closer together.
Oh, yeah?
Like, because before, when we were just friends, I kind of nonchalantly brought up Supernatural in a conversation. She goes, "Wait, are you talking about Supernatural?" I went, "Yeah." And she went, "Oh my god, I love that show show. So that's how we became friends first, and then later on was it 9 years later? We're living in the same house together. So it's a good show because it's about two brothers. I see it, and I see me and my brother.
Oh, that's awesome. Which
is weird because, like, when me and my brother were talking, long story short, me and my brother were never that close. Now we're civil. We're not like BFFs or whatever, but we get along a little bit better than we used to. And he was telling me he likes Supernatural, and the two characters' name are Sam and Dean. Dean's the older brother. Sam is the younger brother. He says, I like Dean a lot. I hate Sam. And I'm like, that makes sense because you relate to the older brother more than the little brother.
Oh.
So that's crazy. Great show. I've kind of... Mish is in the chat room. I've kind of...
Oh, is he?
What's going on, Mish?
How you guys doing? What's going on?
We're doing great, man. How you doing?
Did you figure out how to record and everything?
Yes, sir. I'm actually using the Spreaker Studio.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was in the middle of doing a show with John, his Global Balding, and then editing it. So sorry I wasn't around.
It's all good, man.
Okay.
I figured you were busy because I was like, oh wait, I think John's doing a Global Balding tonight. I just downloaded it. I'm going to listen to it in a bit, or pretty much after the show or after I'm editing the show. But yeah, the Spreaker Studio works just fine.
Fantastic.
Did you just knock something down?
It's dropping something. No, my kiddo dropped something. But no, it's good, dude. Like I said, I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't know you were actually in the middle of a show, so my apologies. But
no, dude, no, dude. It's great to have you on. A special appearance by Mish.
Yeah.
How you doing, Trez?
Okay, how are you?
Good, I'm good. Just
good to hear you.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, tonight, it was
a bolt. I will be back. So much love.
And thank you so much again for helping me with the internet issue that I was having.
Oh, no worries. I was actually just hitting you up now because I saw you were online. I wanted to make sure that your sound issues and everything else were all cleared up. So
yeah, I actually got full bars green and I think that's what it was. They had me on an old, and I still actually, from what I found out, because I got mom files, apparently she's going to get double the internet speed that I have. Like, I'm up to 100.
Fantastic.
She's got 200 MPS. I was like, that's amazing.
Good. Yeah, you should definitely, you definitely paid for more than enough speed to do a show. And, you should be able to get your cable companies to get off their fucking asses and actually set things right. Seems like that's a lot of, like I said, I was telling you guys that earlier. I don't know if I was talking to you about that too, Drew, but a lot of cable companies have been real dirty lately and screwing with people's speeds. And it's universal. It doesn't matter if you have Comcast or Time Warner or RCN or whatever, but it just seems like it's becoming really prevalent lately. And I don't know why, but it's like, John Draper had to call up his company like 10 times before they finally came out and fixed it. I had to do the same thing on my end. Kevin's had to do it. Trez just did it not too long ago. So it's weird. I don't know if there's like a conspiracy, but
probably right. You know what it is also? It's that maybe a lot of people that do have internet aren't tech savvy. So maybe they're not even checking.
Right.
That's why I kept on telling you. Or they just assume like me. I was like, what are you talking about? I got 100 MPS. And then when we did the speed test, I was like, what? This is ridiculous. I'm paying for 100. Why am I getting like 20?
Yeah, because they're going to squeeze every penny that they can, which is just dirty,
You're right.
But,
I know.
All right, guys, I'll leave you to it. Much love. Appreciate it.
Aww,
much love, Mish. Take care, buddy.
Bye.
That was a unplanned cameo by Mr. Mish. I love Mish. He's a good dude.
He's awesome.
The thing about Mish is that he's just nice. He's just the nicest guy. Like, he will always go out of his way to help you if you have a question just about anything. And when I was, starting my podcast, he was always one of the first people I went to. I always credit you and Mish as people that I could always go to for anything. With Mish, I was like, what should I use for a podcast platform? What kind of equipment should I use? A, B, C, and D. He always goes out of his way to help you. Even if you want to ask him 8 million times about the same question, which I usually do, he's always nice about it. Mish is a good dude. Much love to Mish. But yeah, favorite TV shows. Yeah, Supernatural, that's one. Man, there's like a lot I have, actually. Sons of Anarchy is another one. I remember when I first started watching Sons of Anarchy, I watched, I think, the first episode of the second season. So I was like, I have to go back and watch the first season because I have no idea what's going on. So I bought the first season on DVD, and I just became hooked. It's one of those shows that it ended on a, maybe not, I don't know on a good note, but like, it ended when it was supposed to. It didn't, stay past its prime, if that makes sense.
I know.
Smallville. I actually have Bella Vita. I actually have every single episode of Smallville on DVD, like in a box set. Christmas, I think like Christmas 5 years ago, my parents actually bought me the box set on DVD of every single episode of Smallville. The only downside, I wouldn't really say it's a downside, but like I can only watch it on my laptop because I think they ordered it from another country. Because when I tried watching it on my Xbox, it said, was it like country code not red or whatever?
Wow.
Can't be played on here. So when I put it on my laptop, it worked. Or you can use Hulu. Hulu is another option. I'm trying to think of other shows. Here's the thing, I'm not really too much of a TV person. I'm more of a movie guy. Like, there's TV shows I watch. I actually just started getting into Always Sunny. I need to get back on it. TV shows I'm very picky about. Like, I actually have to want to watch something to be interested in, to actually want to watch it. Or let me rephrase that. Actually have to be interested in something, and it has to pull me in to make me want to watch it. So, and then usually with stuff like, with Game of Thrones, where it was like, this is the greatest show ever made, and you have to watch it, everyone's watching it. I tried watching it, and I was like, not for me. So, hello? Trez? Trez?
Drew?
Can you hear me? Boy. I can hear Trez, but for some reason I think she can't hear me. Huh.
Oh, that's because I didn't say anything.
Yellow? What the hell?
But you can hear me, but I can't hear you.
I can hear you. That's crazy.
Oh, darn. You think so? I hope not.
Why? What happened?
Because I see your light goes on, but I can't hear anything.
Shit. Bella, it says you tap on your name and something.
It says you tap on your name and slide the mute switch.
What the hell? Did you put me on mute?
Drew, do you mute yourself?
I don't think so. Alright, tap on your name.
Disconnected, I don't know.
Hold on. We're having a slight issue there.
No, talking to you, Drew, and Trez. Oh, yeah, thanks. I kind of figured that when you said Bella, I was like, wait, what does that mean? And then I was like, oh, no, it's not me.
Shit.
I still can't hear you.
Ah, crap.
I see that you're talking, I'm assuming, because I see your light going. Let's see. Which is interesting. Okay, sounds good.
Hello?
No, can everybody else hear you?
What the hell?
Just out of curiosity, because I can't hear you at all. No. Can you hear Drew? Because I can't hear Drew. Because I can't. Oh, see, that's weird. Why can't I hear you? That is so odd. Oh no, now I hear you both. Yeah, the thing is I can't hear Drew at all. Alright, so let me disconnect and reconnect and see if that helps the connection, okay? Hold on.
Yeah, hello?
Much better. Now I can hear you. I got you back.
Awesome. That was weird.
That was so weird. It must have been Jax's ass, because that was the last thing I said, and I was like, I can't hear at all. So odd.
Anyways, yeah, no, I forgot what the hell we were talking about. Oh yeah, TV shows.
We were talking about TV shows, and you wanted to rewatch Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, because I was also saying after Sons of Anarchy that, I'm very picky about TV shows. Like, I'm more of a movie guy. With TV shows, it has to, like, really pull me in to make me want to watch it. I'm usually... I was never a big fan of Game of Thrones. I tried watching maybe a few episodes, and I just fell off. And also it didn't help that the internet was kind of basically spoiling every single episode for me, because I was basically just like, what's the point of watching it, since I already know what the hell's going to happen.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and that's the thing. Same thing with everybody talking about Game of Thrones, and I was just like, I know. And then everything was so hyped up, and then everybody was like, oh, I hate this show at the end of it. I don't know. I was like, well, good thing I didn't see all 8 seasons of it.
One show that I'm surprised I never got into was The Shield.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah, I think it was on FX. It was it had the dude that played the Thing in the Fantastic Four movies, and I heard it's really good. And The Wire, another show I never got into, because I'm a big criminal justice, nerd. I love crime shows,
Me too.
I love all crime shows. Maybe not all of them, but I'll watch any crime show. I'll give it a chance. And those are 2 shows. SVU, love the shit out of SVU. I'll watch any SVU show, even if I've seen it 8 million times.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. I've been actually that's what I've been doing for the past couple of weeks. I've been rewatching SVU, and I'm going in backwards order. So like I started with this past season 20, and then now I'm up to season 8. Yeah, middle of season 8. So I'm back with Stabler episodes.
I miss Stabler.
That's so true.
I miss Stabler.
Me too.
Yeah, it's weird because the reason I think Christopher Maloney left is because they wouldn't give him a bigger raise. Which is just like, dude.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, like he wanted a raise, which is is reasonable, but they didn't want to give it to him, so that's why he left.
Oh, that sucks. And now the funny thing is that now he's playing a detective, except isn't he like a high detective? Because he's with that Puff the Magic Dragon. I don't know what show.
It's called Happy, I believe.
Right? Happy? Yeah. He's with Puff the Magic Dragon. Oh, is it a unicorn?
That show actually got canceled.
Imagine. Did it?
Yeah, it just got canceled.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, see, I kind of was like, well, what we really do need is an ADA. So how interesting would it be if they can justify, bringing back Chris Maloney, but as an ADA? I can see that.
That would be so dope. Well, I mean,
like, oh look, he retired, but he went back, got his degree, and now he's ADA Stabler.
Have you watched the recent season?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we have to get another ADA. Like, that pissed me off because I was actually starting to like Stone.
Me too.
Spoilers.
Everybody that didn't watch the season finale We apologize that we might have spoiled it for you, but yeah. I mean, I think honestly, the problem with not watching it the night of is that damn Twitter spoils it, because some people were saying, "We love you, Peter. We love you, Stone. We'll miss you," and I'm like, "Oh God!" And I was just dreading the finale because I was like, "Oh my God, they're gonna kill them all." I was waiting for a headshot, an execution, something, and I was like, "Oh, okay. They let him live. That's good." But I was like cringing at the end. I was just like, "Oh my gosh, they're gonna kill them all. That's so wrong." We finally got used to someone after Barb, because no one tops Barb. I mean, I love Casey. I love Alex. You know, the girls are cool, but no one tops. And even what's her name? Oh shit, what's her name? I can't think of her name. That Sharon Stone. Even Sharon Stone I like, but it's like, I'm sorry, no one tops my Barba. He's my top one. He's my number one.
Barbara was the man. I just liked how witty and kind of a cynical dick he was.
Yes! That's what I loved about him. I love how he also threw some Spanish in there too. I was like, oh, look at that. Throw some sazon in there.
And you know what? My girlfriend was a fan of Stone for a different reason. Because he was he was a good-looking dude. And then she saw him and she's like, "Ooh, who's that?" I went, that's the new DA. And she went, now I might start watching.
Is she an SVU fan too?
She, not as big of a fan as I am. It's one of those things where it's like, I will binge watch the shit out of something I like.
Like, yep, me too.
I am bad with shows because as soon as I like something, I will binge watch the shit out of it, and then my girlfriend will literally hear the theme blasting from my living room. She's like, "You're watching that again?" And then she'll watch with me and she'll enjoy it.
See, that's the same thing. When I was binge watching, Danny can say, "Oh, whatever." He was like, "That's that. You're watching it again." But I was like, "But he'll sit right next to me and get into the episode too." So. See, that's why he even knows Cabot's name. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember which one was Cabot.
The one that was married to Bobby Flay. Now I don't know if that helps, but she's the one that the first ADA with the glasses. Going to Africa to she quit her job to go to Africa.
Oh, I could not stand her. I could not stand that girl. She came up in a recent episode where she was like helping women in hiding or something like that.
Yes, that's her. Mm-hmm.
And now, what's her name? Now, Olivia. I'm forgetting her fucking last name. Benson. Now Benson is starting to question her job. She's starting to question the logic of the criminal justice system, which I'm fucking liking now. Mm-hmm. I'm liking that.
Well, because remember, in this past season, it was a lot of corruption within it, and I think she's finding what Cragen had been dealing with for all these years is the red tape behind it, and now she's getting a dose of it.
Yeah, I miss
that guy's name.
Oh, you mean the guy who played Mayhem in the commercials?
No, not Cassidy. The guy that she put behind bars that ended up coming out again. Remember the guy that was like, the memo that spoke to oh my gosh, why am I blanking on this guy's name? Hobbs? Was it Hobbs? No, what's his name?
I know who you're talking about.
Yes, right?
I just don't remember his name.
I don't remember his name.
His name was fuck.
Wasn't it Hobbs? Am I making that up?
Now I gotta pull this shit up.
Good, because I want to say I don't know if Hobbs was his name or Hobbs was the name of his son.
I remember the actor.
Or that's actually his last name. Yeah. What the heck?
His name was like Titus something.
20.
Let's
see. It's Endgame. No, Endgame was the last one.
Come on. Rob Miller. There you go.
Rob Miller. Rob Miller is the bad guy, but that's not the cop. The whatever his name is.
The cop.
You know what I mean? Like, what's his name? I think Hobbs. No? Am I making that up? Cast. Why can't I... Why doesn't it just tell you the cast versus just giving you stuff?
Yeah, I'm stumped.
I'm trying to remember who the heck it was. And Rob Miller was the guy that they put behind bars.
Yeah.
But Nikki Staines is right there. This one in Blackout. It's Blackout, but what the hell's the name of the people in this episode? Oh shoot!
You said Blackout?
No, Blackout is no, not Hobbs. And Hobbs is misspelled, babe. You should know how to spell Hobbs, our tiger. Bitch. Let me see.
Okay, let me pull it up. I have Hulu. Let me pull it up. Blackout.
Blackout was the episode with when Nikki Staines got raped, remember? And then it was like they had to go to this party, and this guy was trying to ask her out. Chief Dobbs. Okay, it's not Hobbs, it's Dobbs. There you go. This Chief Hobbs. It was that episode where at the end she gets into the parking lot and she has a wire on Dobbs, and Dobbs is talking to Miller and talking about Benson's memo, that secret memo, which we don't know what it was about.
Mm. Yeah, I need to rewatch it. There's a lot of episodes I'm missing. There's a lot of episodes I skipped because I looked up the info for the episode. I'm like, this doesn't sound like it's going to be too interesting. But then I would watch another episode, and it would date back to that episode that I didn't find interesting. I'm like, now I got to go back to that episode, see what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. See, what trips me out is if you watch SVU backwards, like the way I'm doing it, I'd be like, and I would see, like, for example, I forgot what season. I don't know, season 10, where they're talking about the sex trafficking and they get really into it, and then since I'm going backwards in seasons, I'd be like, oh wait, this happened, and I was like, oh, actually that didn't happen. Yes, it trips me out a little bit. But you should try watch it backwards.
Watch it, like literally watch it from the most recent episode to the very first episode?
No. Meaning still watch your 1 through 20 episodes, right, in each season, but just go backwards in seasons. So like watch all of season 20, then switch over to season 19, and then watch all of those and keep going. Else it'll really mess you up because you'll be like, oh wait, this happened, and you're like, actually no, it didn't happen yet. Yeah.
I remember there was one episode where they didn't have an ending. It was
there was a couple of them that they don't tell you what ended up happening if they ended up going to jail, what the verdict was. Yeah, that triggers Danny all the time. He'll be like, see, like, well, how could they just end? I was like, it just ends that way.
Well, the episode was like there was like a college student who she claims that she was raped by her professor, but then the professor says that she came on to him, and then literally when they're about to give the verdict, they go to the credits. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yes! That's exactly the one that triggered Danny. That's exactly it. Yeah, like, well, what kind of shit is this? Finally, because his thing is, he's not an SVU fan like we are, but he'll watch it. And the thing is, he finally gets into the episode, and then he's like, what the fuck? Where's? And then the next episode's like something completely different, and he'll be like, what the hell did I just happen? Like, what happened? And it's like, it's left for your interpretation.
No, I want to see the fake ending. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a couple episodes that are like that it's just like, what the hell? What's the ending? I don't know. It's funny.
And the ones that I hate are the ones where the bad guys have to get away. I'm like, no, the bad guys are supposed to go away. They're supposed to go in jail.
Yeah, that's the bad one when it's they raped someone, and it's like, oh, the crazy one was the camera guy impregnated the talent, right? And he was like pretty much harassing her, and poor girl was like completely stressed out and depressed and was postpartum and everything. and he was suing for custody. I'm like, how fucking crazy is that? That she was like, you know what, I'm leaving the country. Like, she had to leave the country in order to pretty much be gone because, or stay away from him, because him as a rapist, he won the case, basically saying he was found not guilty. And I was like, what kind of shit is that? Why is this mofo who raped someone and there's evidence of the rape why does he go free? Yeah, that was, some episodes are just like, wow.
The one that always, like, I still kind of, my stomach turns watching it is the one about the, I'm trying to remember her name. The one chick who was like, she was a part of like some child pornography cult or whatever, and then she was a part of like a child like pornography cult when she was a kid, and then she grew up, and then some guy who was like, I guess, an admirer of her decided to kidnap her and, you know, rape her.
Oh yeah.
She was the chick that was in. She's the chick from Orange Is the New Black, and they find the guy. What was that?
That's the one. Is that the one where what the hell's her name? Where she ends up in the hospital. He ends up raping her in the hospital too.
The big fat guy's like, oh, just checking her temperature.
Oh, that just triggers me. Yeah, I was like, punch him. I was like, yes, Taylor, go, punch.
And then the guy who was in charge of the cult was the dude from The Crow. The guy that goes, there's no going back, or something like that. And then he's hiding behind the First Amendment. And, of course, they're going along with it because even, you know, perverts can hide behind the First Amendment, which I'm just like, fuck that shit. And then he ends up winning the case. And then in the end, you know, I guess the boy that she was friends with, he's telling her during an interrogation, he's still raping more kids. He's still doing it. So she finds him in his house, you know, trying to rape another kid, and shoots him.
Yes.
She
ended up not getting arrested for that.
Yeah, because apparently,
right?
I don't know if this is correct, because you're from New York, so correct me on this, but does New York really have a thing for vigilantes, like a vigilante law where you can actually use physical force on somebody that's trying to hurt somebody else?
I think what it was, it's not vigilante. I think it would fall under self-defense because, in other words, she saved another one from getting, you know, from being raped. So I think in that sense, I think that's why they were able to, I don't know, they didn't even want to charge her for that because she was also a victim too of this guy. So I think they made it fall under self-defense. Although I don't know. We also don't know also if there was a way, if she broke into his house, because then that's trespassing. So that she'd get something out of that. But then also if she went in there with the intent to kill, you know, then that's a little bit different too. That's the thing. I don't know how they would charge her in that sense. I'm trying to think back. Because yeah, she did prevent a crime from happening, and maybe that's why they were like, oh, she was also a victim and she stopped the crime, so, you know, slap on the wrist. Because the way I'm thinking, I was like, yeah, but she went with full intent to, you know, to punish this guy for what he did to her.
Oh, maybe she heard a scream coming inside his house. Maybe that's something she could use.
And she was just going through the neighborhood, just chilling.
chilling with her Glock, you know, taking her gun out for a walk, and she hears a scream in a house going, I'd better go check that.
I was like, oh, look at that, it's this pervert's house. Versus calling the cops, because she could have easily called the cops and say, hey, I know of, and tip them. I'm like, hey, this is a crime that's about to happen. So I don't know, it's weird.
That again, another nutty episode. That was a crazy episode.
Yeah, it was.
The one where Jennifer Love Hewitt starred in the show, where she was like a victim of a guy that would torture her and rape her.
Yeah, that was also a good one, where he was following her to the different states, and he ended up everywhere. He was just raping her over and over again.
And then
it wasn't just her; it was a couple of girls too that he kept their licenses too.
Yeah, and like there was like a cameo with like the long forgotten Law and Order California, or was it Law and Order California Chicago, whatever it was?
Yeah, it was Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago PD, yeah, right. What's the name of that? Because I know that Chicago has their own lineup too.
Well, no, I know what you're talking about. They actually did a crossover with Chicago PD, but this was something else. I think it was California, if I'm not. I think it was California.
What episode was that one? I'm trying to remember.
This was like 8-9 years ago. So, I think it was California. I'm almost 90% sure it was California.
What was the episode about? Remind me.
All right, so Jennifer Love Hewitt, she like you just said, her rapist would actually follow her from like state to state.
Yes, because she lived in Cali. Mm-hmm.
And would torture her and like rape her, and it would actually take her, I guess, like her license and everything, and say, you know, I'm going to find you wherever you go. You better be a good girl. And then she moves into New York. Same shit happens, and ends up being like some wealthy businessman. And it's a crazy episode because the SVU people decide to follow him and harass him to say, now you know what it feels like to have somebody harass you. And then Benson gets in his face and pretty much says what I just said, and then he says, you're all alike, and which kind of makes him go, okay, we have proof. He ends up getting out because the evidence from the first rape kit, which I believe was in California, ends up, I guess it was too contaminated. I think that was it. Now I'm going to have to go rewatch the episode. But they end up.
It was either that, or it was that that they had the clock stopped ticking for that one, because I think there was a time. I think one of the states had a timestamp on it, like a limited. Like there's a statutory. What the hell is that?
Statutory or not?
It's statute of limitations on it.
Yes.
So it could have been that it ran out of time. I know one of them was contaminated, and I think the other one was just time ran out.
And then in the end, they found the duct tape that was used on her actually, still had evidence.
Yeah.
And so it ended with him being locked in jail, and then she gives a line of, now you be a good little boy and stay there, which I always go, fuck yeah, fuck that dude.
Yeah.
So, now we can talk about SVU all night if we could.
Oh, of course. Yeah, the John Stamos one was trippy only because he's just psycho.
John Stamos?
You remember that episode where John Stamos? Let me see if I can remember. He basically, so it starts out with the nanny basically saying that the kid went missing from the crib, and it ends up being that the neighbor drops off the kid in the back of a daycare, and they're trying to figure out where this baby doll came from. And then they discover that it's this rich lady, and that it was the neighbor who dropped him off, and he was saying, he's trying to save the kid because the nanny and John Stamos are banging. And then it's the one with the holes in the condom.
I don't remember
that one.
I really don't remember that episode. I don't think I ever saw it.
Wow, you gotta definitely watch it. I'm not gonna talk further about it. You gotta watch it then. If you don't, I forgot what season that was. Might have been season 9 or 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up definitely. Do you want to do Extreme Rules predictions?
Sure, if you got the card, because I honestly have no idea. Other than Brock Lesnar and what's his face, and Seth Rollins, that's the only card that I know.
All right, I have it. I actually have it on me right now. Extreme Rules is this Sunday, July 14th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Wells Fargo Center. And the matches aren't in order; they're just going by, I guess, when the matches were announced. I'll just start from 10. The Revival versus the Usos, tag team match for the Raw Tag Team Championships.
I'll say the Usos.
Yeah, I got the Usos. The Revival, they're doing nothing. Everyone was doing the whole, are they going to AEW? It's like, yeah, even if they went to AEW, they still wouldn't draw shits. But yeah, at least the Usos are popular. They still have popularity to them. They're one of my favorite tag teams. They're probably the best tag team going in the business today. I know that might piss a lot of people off, but not a fan of the Young Bucks. Sorry, I don't want to turn this into a debate or anything. But yeah, the Usos. I think the Usos might win. I would say give it to the Usos. Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley, last man standing.
I will say Braun Strowman.
Yeah,
Wait a second, didn't he have like a broken spleen and then he just came back magically?
Wait, when did that happen?
Something like, apparently, rumor had it. I saw a tweet a couple of days ago that it said that Strowman had. Didn't he and was it him and Lashley that went through the LED wall?
Yeah, like they're basically trying to sell I guess what happened. Like they had Lashley come back, but they didn't have Braun Strowman come back.
Braun Strowman, and yeah, they were saying that it was a spleen, something with his spleen. I don't know if that's true, if that was bullshit, but I saw that and I was like, wait, what? And they were like, oh, this came back pretty quickly, and I was like, what? So confused.
Yeah, supposedly they're trying to rebuild Braun as the monster again.
We'll see how that goes.
Which hopefully, because I like Braun, but they've really fucked up Braun, which I don't know how you could fuck up Braun. Like how?
It's easy. You showcase him every week, and then you end up, because remember there was a time where was it the ambulance that he actually raised the ambulance? It was something that he literally raised. It was some vehicle. I can't remember if it was the ambulance or something else.
It was an ambulance, yeah.
Ambulance, right? And then it's like, so he can raise an ambulance. He's strong as fuck. And then I think a couple episodes later, it was like he barely do anything. And I was like, And we're supposed to believe that? Okay.
And then you have him go out there and talk. Like WWE, they're obsessed with talkie.
Yeah, they are.
I think it was the whole thing where he was trying to do a promo with Brock, and it looked like Brock was actually trying not to laugh because Braun was just giving this really god awful promo. But I think Braun can be saved. It's easy to save Braun. Just have him go out there and just be an ass kicker. That's all you need to do. Just have him go out there, be a fucking monster, and squash people. That's really all you have to do. It's really not that hard.
Yeah, it's nothing much. It's just like, be a monster. Go out there and squish and kill, and that's it. That's all you really do need to.
Especially with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman could easily make Braun a top star again. Like, that's really all. I'm pretty sure Paul sees Braun and goes, there is so much I can do with you. Like, that sounds kind of wrong. there's so much I can do with your character. I can make you a fucking star. Like, I can make you a Brock level star. So, but yeah, we're both in agreement. Braun should win.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because Bobby Lashley he's just a big bag of meh.
No, I don't see it. I don't think he's entertaining.
Yeah, it's just because, like,
that's just me.
I actually prefer Drew McIntyre over him. Because with Drew McIntyre, he can at least go out there and work. He can give you a good match. Him on the mic, but I would prefer him over, Bobby Lashley.
Of course.
And I'll probably get hate for saying this. I prefer Baron Corbin over Bobby Lashley.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
Oh my god! Bad news, people. Trez just left the show and she's never coming back.
No, seriously. I don't know. You know what? Bobby Lashley. Some people call him boring Lashley. I get it. But I don't know. It's like tomato and tomato. But the only difference is that, you know what? I don't, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Bobby Lashley comes out as an arrogant prick, whether it's on social media or even on air, as much as Corbin does. And I think what turns me off of Corbin is not much his wrestling ability as much as it is his just arrogance and the in your face, like, fuck you type, to the fans. Like, he got into an argument with Mish and John Draper. Was it last summer? It was either last summer, because I forgot what the hell he was showcasing, and the guys went after him. Or not even after him. They just said one comment, and it's just going back and forth between him, some other, one of our Patreons, one of the followers, and it was just going back and forth. And I was like, dude, you're really arguing with a fan? Like,
I remember that. I think it was Joe, because I think Baron had posted, like, hey, I just bought this new Ferrari or whatever.
Yeah, it was something.
And then Joe just, took him to task, and they were just going back and forth.
Are you sure that? I think it was. Are you sure that that's not a rental or something like that?
I'm pretty sure Joe did say something along the lines of that, but
I think I vaguely remember that. It was like, I think it was that he posted the car, which is cool. It's fine. But I think someone had, I don't know if it was Joey Numbers or if it was someone else, but someone said to him, like, you sure it's not a rental? And he just went off.
Yeah.
So then everybody just jumped right into that one.
Is it too late to take back my Baron Corbin comment?
Who said that? You?
Me. Is it too late to take back my Baron Corbin compliment?
No, that's fine. I was just joking.
I know. Next match on the card, AJ Styles versus Ricochet in a cornhole match for the United States Championship.
I love Ricochet. I've seen him when he was in NXT.
Yeah.
Darn. This is a toughie. Because I want to say Ricochet, but I don't know if they'll just let AJ win. I'll go for AJ. Watch it be backwards.
I'm kind of on the same boat as you, because supposedly they're trying to push, Ricochet, for the younger audience. They see him as, someone that, the teenage demographic would find more appealing, because he does all the flips and kicks, and I like Ricochet. I like him.
I love the flips. The fingers in the booty ass.
Good one.
Ricochet. No, you forgot to say what is Ricochet.
What is Ricochet?
You gotta put it in the form. You gotta put it in the form of question. Oh my gosh! I know. I heard of this. Or who is Ricochet? Yes, I'm sorry. You're right. Who is Ricochet? I heard of this. I did not want to see it. I still do not want to see it. But I'm curious as to what exactly was on that video that everybody's talking about. But
basically, it's
rather the why.
I haven't seen it either, but basically, from what I heard, is that it's a video of him jerking off, and it's also a video of him in the shower sticking something up his ass.
Really?
That's literally all I heard about the video. I think Joey Numbers watched it. I think either Joey or Mish watched it. But that's really all I heard about the synopsis, the plot summary of the video.
Gosh. The man shoved his arm up his ass and worked his mouth like a puppet. Wow. This is on. Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to watch that video anytime soon. So
yeah, I'm not trying to watch that video, but no. Mm-mm.
But yeah, going back to what we were talking about, I'm kind of torn because it looks like they're pushing Ricochet, to the moon. And with AJ Styles, they just turn him heel and they're, forming, the club again. So,
which I thought was gonna be with Finn, but I guess they stopped that.
Well, it might because they're not doing brand stuff anymore. They're doing the whole wild card thing, which that became bullshit too.
That's annoying as fuck because I was like, wait a second, I thought I saw Nikki Cross on Raw last week, and then on last week SmackDown, she was on SmackDown with Bayley, and then it's like, then again, I saw her on Raw, and I was like, why is Bayley on Raw when she's supposed to be on SmackDown? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, because the way I see it, Eric Bischoff, who's going to run SmackDown, he has a long history with factions, because he was in charge, or he created, possibly one of the biggest factions of all time. So he sees the club and goes, I can really do something with this. You know what I mean? Because I didn't watch SmackDown, but supposedly someone said that they're going to make Finn a heel.
So are we saying that AJ's really SmackDown? Because is he? Because I'm so confused as to, like, I see them on both brands, and I'm so confused which one is the one that he belongs to.
I don't, because I'm under the assumption that when SmackDown officially goes to Fox, that they're gonna break up the brand split officially, because Fox wants bigger stars. They don't just want the SmackDown roster; they want everybody.
Right.
So basically, it's going to be Eric Bischoff is going to be in charge more of the the club stuff. Paul Heyman's going to play a role in it too, so I'm pretty sure he's going to want to jump on that. So I don't know. I wish I had an answer, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. Seeing them jump back and forth really bugs me. Like, Bayley, stay in SmackDown. You do not belong on Raw at all. Back and forth, it's just like, what? It's just too much. Then I think about these people, because I honestly think about them and I feel bad because their travel schedule has to be crazy. Especially, it was crazy always because we know that they at least work 360 days a year, if not more. And then on top of that, at least they got their little breaks between, the different brands. And now it's like, I can only imagine Bayley. I don't even know when she would get a day off, like Sunday maybe, or maybe the weekend, because having to jump back and forth, and I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't think of it. I didn't even thought of it that way, because it's like when they did the shake-up, for the a while back. It's like, imagine if you're Roman Reigns. It's like, okay, Roman, you're going to work Tuesdays from now on. You're on SmackDown, A, B, C, and D. It's like, okay, cool. Like 3 weeks later, it's like, okay, Roman, you're going to be New Year on Raw. Well, I thought I was on SmackDown. Yeah, but we're doing this wild card thing. We want to, do something to spice up the ratings. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, cool. 2 weeks later, it's like, so am I still a SmackDown guy, or am I a Raw guy, or what the hell am I supposed to be? We're just going to try something new. Okay. Like, it's like, if you're someone like Roman, it's like, okay, I know I'm going to be working Tuesdays, I'm working, these house shows for SmackDown, and then I'm going to be able to have these days off to spend some time with my family.
Right.
But now my schedule is all out of whack because this company has no idea what the fuck they're doing.
That, and not to mention, if for someone like him, that I think that's why they still haven't given him any titles or anything like that, unless I completely missed out of him having a title. But I think they're trying to still give him a lighter schedule so that he can still, they don't. I don't think they want to use him in full capacity, because they want to get him to make sure that he heals up as much as he can and becomes stronger than putting a lot of pressure on him and just weakening him.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a matter of time. I think it's only a matter of time before they put him up against Kofi and put that title on Kofi. I mean, put that title on Roman, my bad.
Oh, okay. I don't know. What do you think as Kofi as a champ? I mean, I like him, and I think if they have to, I think there was rumor that he might drop the title for Extreme Rules. I honestly don't think he is. I think that'd be too soon. I feel like if they are going to switch it out, it might be SummerSlam.
Well, we'll actually get to Kofi in a bit. But yeah, for Ricochet and AJ Styles, you know what? I'm gonna go with AJ. Yeah, us both. I'm like, wait, were we just talking about something? Yeah, we got about 35 minutes before the speaker cuts us off.
Sure.
Yeah, AJ. I'm gonna go with AJ.
Okay.
Who would you choose?
I said AJ. I said I would want it to be Ricochet, but I was like, I feel like they might just give it to AJ.
Okay, so we're 3 for 3 so far. Next match, which will probably end up being the match of the night, Aleister Black versus Cesaro.
I say Aleister Black.
Yeah, Black. I mean, because, like, they've been pushing him in the weirdest way, where they just have him in a dark room going, "Come on, someone fight me! Fight me! Fight me!" And then Cesaro knocks on the door. Yeah, I answered your call. What's up? I seriously hope they don't fuck up Aleister Black. Like, because him and Matt Riddle are two guys that I could imagine going, there is no possible way you can fuck these guys up. And then WWE just going, hold my beer.
Of course. But that's my thing with them bringing people from the NXT roster. I always say that's bringing them up to the main roster. I feel like is a demotion. I know it's for a lot would be like, oh, it's a promotion because they're on the two main shows and they're on TV and blah blah blah. Yeah, but then how is it a promotion when you're not using them to the fullest and then you're just killing their character? That's how I see. So that's why I call moving on to the main roster as a demotion, not a promotion.
I've also think how they promote people because, I mean, this is just my opinion, but, back in the day, when someone would be debuting from, FCW or OVW onto Raw or SmackDown, you would see vignettes, coming soon to SmackDown, you're going to get so-and-so. And, as a fan, you'd be watching going, who's that? It's pretty crazy. And then they would debut on the show. 9 times out of 10, they would catch your interest. Sometimes they wouldn't, but most of the time they would. Like, like a Carlito. He was pretty popular for a bit. He's pretty cool. Carlito Caribbean cool. Or, CM Punk when he debuted on ECW. He had those vignettes of, I'm CM Punk, I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I'm a straight edge, blah, blah, blah. Nowadays, the company assumes that everybody watches NXT. They assume the company that the people watch the Mae Young Classic or the Cruiserweight Classic. So when they shoehorn these guys onto the main roster, people are like, who's that? And they have to have their friend go, oh, that's so and so from NXT. He was the NXT champion. It's like, I'm not sure what that is, but okay. It was like, oh, NXT, I've heard of that. I just never really watched it. So
right, and a lot of people that do watch it would watch, let's say, like they'll go to a takeover, but they won't actually watch the weekly. Yeah,
I mean, because like with me, I only watch the takeovers. I don't really watch the weekly shows, which I probably should. But the other shit like NXT UK, the Mae Young Classic, the Cruiserweight Classic, the Mid-Card Classic, NXT Japan, NXT Canada, it's like there's so much wrestling. There's so much wrestling, and it just seems like there's not enough time to watch it.
Right.
It's like I can sneeze, and there's like 2 more specials up on the network.
That's true.
So, yeah, Aleister Black versus Cesaro. Yeah, Black's going to win it. There's no reason why you shouldn't win it. Next match on the card, triple threat tag team match for the WWE SmackDown Championships. Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus New Day, Big E and Xavier Woods versus Heavy Machinery.
I'll go for Daniel Bryan. I might be wrong on this one, but I'll go for Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, I'd say keep the titles on. Yeah, it makes sense to keep it on them. Having Machinery is an entertaining tag team, but I don't see them ever winning tag team championships. They're just really there to entertain the crowds. New Day, it just seems like anytime you need help with a tag team championship program, you got shoehorn them in somehow. At the end of the day, New Day is always going to sell shirts, always going to keep people entertained. So, but I think at this point, you don't really need to give the New Day tag titles anymore.
I agree with you on that. I just don't know if they'll end up doing it more so for SummerSlam.
Possibly, but again, like I was saying, not to say I don't think New Day should ever win tag titles anymore. For anyone that's listening,
Right.
What I'm saying is they're in a position where they're more popular than a championship. Like they don't need a championship to put them over.
Mm-hmm.
They're still over even without a championship.
No, you're right about that.
It's yeah, like they're an elite. I think they're an elite group of guys by themselves at the moment in the company right now where they seem more bigger than the title. So
No, you're right. They're very marketable, and I think that's what helps a lot with their push too. Is the fact that they're fan favorites. Bootios, T-shirts, pancakes. It's like they're constantly reinventing themselves without necessarily going too far away from their actual, from their essence, what it is, what makes them up as a team.
you think it's only a matter of time before they break up the New Day?
I know they have their run.
Yeah.
Would it make sense for them to put these guys back to solo? I don't see individual. I could see Big E being the champ. I could totally see that. Not so sure about if they would actually put a title on Woods. Don't know. He's also a good guy. Actually, I gamed with him. That's a whole nother story, but I did. Cool guy. But I don't know. I feel like separating them. I feel like they can do so much more as the faction that they are versus separating them.
Well, here's what I think. I don't think you really need to separate them. Just kind of, what's the word? I guess make Big E kind of have a little bit of resentment towards Kofi, where it's I was always thought of the bigger star because I'm younger. People like me more, but Kofi
And stronger.
You seem to always be put in these big matches ahead of me. Why is that? Why am I never chosen as the guy to be in big match situations? Why is it always Kofi? Good old reliable Kofi. You can build up, dissension between the New Day. Xavier
That's the way to do it.
Xavier can be the guy in the middle going, okay, I love both of you. I hate to see you fight. It can be and this is where my my Marvel nerdiness comes in. It can be like the Civil War comic book or the movie where Xavier's like Captain America and then Big E's like Iron Man, and then you just have the guy in the middle going, I don't want to see you two fight. I just want us to be friends again. And then you can kind of end it like that. You can end the feud with Big E coming out on top, and then the end, Kofi recognizes he's the better man. He's the bigger star, and Big E he accepts it. He goes I didn't want it to come to this, but it had to. And then they go back to being friends again. You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
I almost
Usually when WWE does the resentment thing, they'll turn them heel and for no reason and break it up.
It's kind of
Sort of like how they did with the Shield. You know how magically out of nowhere Dean turns heel, and you would think it was gonna be such a good thing, and then it was like, what was the point of turning him heel? Like, you just ruined it for no reason. And that's my fear. It's the fact that, yes, they can do the angle that you're saying, and yes, it would be great, but would they actually do an angle and actually, that would work? And people are, like you said, that it'll be like, yes, he was resentful because he was out and whatnot, and instead of him getting pushed, it ended up being Kofi because he was out, and he could say all that, and then for whatever reason, they ended up just, being cool again. Yes, that sounds cool, but knowing WWE did just throw a curveball and just mess it up, and you're kind of left like, well, what was the point in that? Sort of like, what was the point in them breaking the Shield up when the Shield was selling merch and all this and that? And this is the same thing with the New Day. Yes, they're selling literally like pancakes, selling shirts like pancakes. Their merch is, always good, and just they overall are such a good energy team. It's like they get the crowd hype, and then you're just gonna break them up for what? I don't know. It's like I don't feel like. I feel like if they leave them as is and let the guys get the do the creative part of it and just keep pushing themselves, then yes, we'll continue to see such a good tag team in action. But I don't know. I just have this whole thing, sort of like how Elias. You remember I kept on saying I'm not walking with Elias because I feel like they'll ruin his character the same way they did with Sandow.
Yeah.
It's the same reason.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. We agree on Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Yeah, the New Day don't really need to win it. I mean, they could, but like we just agreed on, they're a lot bigger than the titles now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so far we're 5 for 5 on who we choose.
Look at that.
All right, so next match, Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese for the Cruiserweight Championship. I don't pay attention to 205 Live, so I don't really have a dog in this fight.
I say Tony Nese.
So, are you going with Gulak?
No, I'm saying Tony Nese.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, we're both going to go with Tony Nese. Again, I don't really pay attention to 205 Live. I want to keep it. I want to keep it perfect, 6 for 6. So, yeah, Tony Nese. Next match, and just to remind you, we have 22 minutes and 35 seconds left before Spreaker shuts us off. Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, handicap match for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Bayley versus Nikki Cross.
And Alexa Bliss.
Oh, it's a triple threat? I didn't know that.
No. It's a handicap match.
Oh, it's them two versus Bayley. Bayley's gonna win this because let's be real. Will they actually? Is Alexa Bliss in a position where she can actually hold and defend the title without them being so worried about her injury? I don't know. Would they actually give Nikki Cross the title? I don't see that happening. Maybe later on, but do I see that happening for Extreme Rules? No. Oh.
Yeah, I would say keep it on Bayley. As much as I love Alexa Bliss, her in-ring skills are just not very good. I threw out the idea a couple weeks ago on the show that I think she really needs to be a manager. Manager or valet. She can definitely talk. She's a good talker, and obviously she looks good. Put her with someone who's not very good on the mic. I suggested put her with Lars Sullivan.
Okay.
Like that'd be interesting. Kind of, they can play off. The beauty and the beast. Like she can do the talking. All he has to do is just look menacing and beat the fuck out of people. So with Nikki Cross, I really like Nikki Cross. I prefer the crazy the crazy chick Nikki rather than this whole
trying to be friends. Yeah.
So hopefully they go back to that Nikki. But Bayley should win this match. I mean she'll probably win it. I think what will happen is that Alexa might win it, and Nikki will cost Alexa the match, and that will lead to Alexa, being a cunt, saying to her, I never wanted you, you were a loser, and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada.
The same storyline that she did to Nia, where she bullies. Yeah, I can see that happening.
And then that will build sympathy for Nikki, and I can see it. The writing's pretty much on the wall. So Bailey's going to win.
Yeah, it's the same shit they did with Nia, where it's like, you have such a beast in Nia, such a strong, like, Amazon-type woman in Nia, and you're going to tell me that someone that's shorter than me, a 5 feet of fury, this is what they call her, is bullying someone that's, 6 feet tall? Like, are you kidding me? Like, she literally has to just raise her leg, and her foot would probably be in Alexa's face. Like, no, totally unbelievable. And yeah, it looked like she was reading either cue cards or teleprompters, or maybe even like looking, because she was trying to remember her lines, and for whatever reason, looking to the side might help. I don't know.
Yeah, so we both agree Bailey's going to win. or we want Bailey to win. Next match, Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe, WWE Championship. Kofi's the champion.
Kofi's gonna win this.
Yeah, give it to Kofi. And I think Don Tony said this. It seems like they're putting Kofi with a lot of guys that are being misused.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they put him with Kevin Owens, and that program was okay, but the match didn't work out that well. They decided to put him in a program with Dolph for whatever reason, and that didn't work out. And now they're putting with Joe, which I like Joe, but it just seems like with Joe, to quote, Joey Numbers, pin me, pay me. That's pretty much, what Samoa Joe is. They put him in these programs, and in the end, Joe ends up, being the one that, looks like a loser.
And that's horrible, because like when KO had the title, when it was like Kevin Owens is Raw or something like that, it was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can easily have that, and they'll be very entertaining on Raw. Versus Seth, which to me that's another angle that just makes no sense to me. And same thing with Samoa Joe. To me, it's like you put the title on him and it's gold. Like, put him on SmackDown, put KO on Raw, and you have two, believable, in your face, come and get me and see, get an ass kicking by me type of champions. Like, that's, I like how, I don't know, I didn't see the apparently the pipe bomb that he did yesterday, but I'm curious about that. But, those two on the mic.
It was actually pretty good. I liked it. Yeah, look it up. It's worth watching.
Yeah, someone was like tweeting saying, "Oh, look, he's no longer WWE because he says for any inquiries," and he has like some personal email address up there. And I was like, I don't know if that's true, because I didn't check out KO's actual Twitter. That was just a screenshot of what supposedly was his Twitter.
Yeah. Like what you to answer a question that you asked me a while ago about Kofi, I think the bloom is off the rose with Kofi, because him winning at Mania was a big moment, but again, the programs that he's in, since then haven't really helped his case, because they're putting him up against guys that are being misused.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to see if Kofi can do anything with it. And it's not that the matches are bad. It's just that it just kind of leaves you with this feeling of being underwhelmed. Because, Kofi, without doubt, had the best match at Mania. And now he's being in feuds with guys that are just being forgotten. Or just being, kind of thrown to the wayside.
Well, that's my thing. It's like, is it believable that Kofi would defeat someone as big and as strong as Samoa Joe? I don't know. I want to say I don't believe that. Like, in real life, would someone of his stature be able to take down Samoa Joe? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I would be like, no, he wouldn't be able to.
More than likely, the match is going to end with a fuck finish. Like, Kofi's going to counter the Coquina clutch into like a pin or something. I don't know, but yeah,
more interference or something where the ref doesn't catch it and New Day interferes somehow. Or maybe that's another thing. Maybe New Day ends up screwing Kofi by accident, and that causes the bell. And like you said, if it's something that they're trying to come up with like an angle to get rid of them, that might be one way of going. And then using the whole Biggie, resentful angle too.
Yeah, Danny in the chat room, he hit the nail on the head. Kofi is just like Ray when he won the World Heavyweight Championship back in 2006.
You're right.
You're absolutely right, dude. I don't see. Yeah, Kofi would probably win this. And this, I don't know what he would do at SummerSlam. I'm assuming him versus. I would like to think him versus Big E, but I don't know. So next match on the card, The Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre in a no-holds-barred tag team match.
The Undertaker and who?
The Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre.
This is Extreme Rules. Yeah, let's just say Taker and Roman, because after the fiasco that I heard happened with Goldberg, I'm sure he's gonna want to be able to be a winner, and just to kind of be like, hey, look at me, I'm teamed up with Roman Reigns, and look, we defeated Shane McMahon and Drew. What else you want? I don't know.
Unfortunately, I think this is what's going to break our match card thing that we have going. I think Drew McIntyre is going to get a clean pin on Undertaker.
Well,
here's what I think is going to happen. Supposedly, they want to set up Undertaker versus Drew at SummerSlam. So I think what's going to happen is, since they want to set that up and since they want to build up McIntyre is probably going to go for a Claymore kick on Taker when he's not looking. And since it's a no-holds-barred match, there's probably going to be some fuckery afoot, and, Drew's going to pin Taker.
I would not be mad if that happens, because I honestly would love to see Drew McIntyre win. I just don't know if, because they're trying to play the let's kind of clean the act and clean the air of what happened at Saudi, that they would actually let Taker win this one. That's the only reason. But I definitely would like to. I'd rather go for Drew than what I just told you. I just feel that that's what they would go for.
Yeah, I have a feeling that might happen. Again, they want to build up Drew. I'd be more pissed off if Shane got a pin over Taker. But Drew getting a pin over Taker, that wouldn't really piss me off. And the last match on the card, which will most likely be the main event, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. Last chance winners take all mixed tag match Extreme Rules for both the Universal Championship and the Raw Women's Championship. So basically, if Seth Rollins, pins Baron Corbin, him and Becky retain their titles. But if Lacey Evans were to pin Becky Lynch, she would win the Raw Women's Championship, and Baron Corbin would win the Universal Championship.
Yeah, I don't see them winning. So as much as I don't like Seth, and the Becky combo, I'd go for the Becky and Seth combo.
Yeah, it would definitely be a shocker, and it would definitely, cause a lot of buzz, in the wrestling world, if Baron and, Lacey were to win, especially since now that, Baron is this sexy man amongst preteens. But yeah, just Seth and Becky, I would just say keep it on them. Also, and also, there's a possibility that Brock is apparently going to cash it in, which, again, I think we agreed on it that he'll more than likely cash it in on or around SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
So
unless is the only other thing I was thinking of. unless they actually do, for whatever reason, allow Corbin to win, and then Brock cashes in and wins the title from Corbin.
I think that would be. I think that would be funny because, like, you can just imagine Baron Corbin celebrating in the ring, and then Brock's music hits, and then he just beats the shit out of Corbin and pins him.
Yep, that's the only way that I'm like, if they mess this up, that's the only way I can see them, fixing it. That's the only way.
Or it can be the next time on Raw, like Baron decides to hold this, this huge celebration, and then, Seth and Becky can come out and beat the shit out of both of them, and then that's when Brock comes in and F5's Corbin, and then wins back the Universal Championship.
That's true. That's another option.
So, yeah, basically...
But it would make more sense. Honestly, I think it would make more sense because of the fact that Seth slayed the Beast in 2 minutes, or 2 minutes and a couple seconds. I think it would make sense if Brock goes after the title straight from, gets revenge on Seth, and that's how, that ends up being. But who knows, maybe that'll end up being a SummerSlam match.
Yeah, but seems like it. So basically this Extreme Rules card, I'm counting it, what is it, one, two, I'm counting only 3 actual Extreme Rules matches. The rest are just regular wrestling matches.
Of course.
It's like,
between.
I mean, you could easily make some of these like tables matches or ladder matches, but if you don't have anything for them, why don't you just make them Extreme Rules matches?
Exactly.
Like Aleister Black versus Cesaro, if you can make, if you
most likely they'll have a pre-show and
it's like Ricochet versus AJ Styles. You're telling me you couldn't make that a TLC match or a ladder match?
Or a street fight or something.
Like, those two fuckers in a ladder match, that would be entertaining as fuck. Or Aleister Black versus Cesaro in a street fight? You're telling me you wouldn't want to see those dudes beat the shit out of each other?
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah, especially after the slap contest they had going on.
Yeah, because it's like you're building up Aleister Black, putting him in a dark room going, "Somebody fight me! Somebody fight me!" And then you're putting him in a regular wrestling match. Like, come on. Like, the first pay-per-view you put him in after having him do these weird promos is called Extreme Rules.
Styles loser gets a finger in the ass.
That could actually work. I don't know. Just WWE logic. So yeah, that's the Extreme Rules match card. We got about 7.5 minutes left on Spreaker. Was there anything else you wanted to discuss for a bit?
I'm trying to think. What else?
Anything for the next 7 minutes?
Wrestling, talk SVU. Huh?
I said anything for the next 7 minutes.
Oh no, that's what I was trying to recap. I was like, we talked about SVU, we talked about shows, we talked about The Little Mermaid, we talked about me being Twitter jail, we talked about animal abuse. I'm trying to think of something else that we might have missed.
I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah, right? I think so.
All right, we definitely need to do this again.
And we did predictions, yeah.
This is a really good idea. They suggested doing this on Discord.
Oh, I'm glad it's working out.
Yeah, because like I said, I'd always thought about making a server channel, but I wasn't too sure. But this is definitely going to be a new thing for the show to bring in more listeners, to be more interactive. So,
well, I'm definitely honored that I was your first guest on the
new era,
the new server.
It's like
the new server,
the new era. Thanks, Trez, as always. You're amazing. You're amazing for doing this.
Funny. Danny's like, so Trez and I are getting married.
Oh yeah. When are you guys getting married?
Next year in October.
Oh, awesome. Are you going to get married on Halloween? Hello?
Yeah.
Are you going to get married on Halloween?
No, that's what he would want. I think if we chose Halloween, Mom would get so triggered and so pissed off at the fact that she'll think that we're celebrating demons versus celebrating our wedding. So it's actually at the beginning of October.
Oh, you had a missed opportunity. It's like, do it on Halloween.
I know, right? Well, there'll be some elements, it'll be like a Jack and Sally kind of, not really in your face, but, if you see it, you'll catch it.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, well, am I invited to said wedding?
Right now, I'm trying to figure out what family members not to invite. Is that horrible?
Yeah, Danny, it was fun. It was fun too. I appreciate you for being here, Danny.
But yes, Lord willing, we can have it, and then of course you and your girlfriend are invited.
Awesome.
Right now we're just trying to work on the numbers. I'm seriously trying to figure out, like, do I need to invite this family member and do I need to invite this? Yeah, I know, it's hard.
All right.
On his side, he literally capped himself. So we're trying to stick with 120 as a magic number, but he has so much more family than I do.
You keep
one single.
You keep cutting off.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just now doing this.
That's weird. That is really weird. Now?
It's crazy. Alright, so we got about 3 more minutes until a speaker cuts us off. Trez, we seriously got to do this another time.
Yeah, see, it sounds like you're coming in and off, too.
There's more SVU talk that we got to talk about.
D at me anytime. Oh, okay.
So I will disconnect, and I'll tell you what I was going to tell you earlier after the show.
Sounds good then.
All right, take care, my friend.
All right, you too. Take care. Thanks again for having me.
Absolutely. Do you want to do another show next week?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for that. I'm not on. Yes, Wednesday we can do, because Thursday, Dark Chronicles, because it's every other week for Dark Chronicles. So if we didn't do this, if we're not doing tomorrow, because we did last week. So then, yeah, thank you so much. That'd be cool.
Absolutely. Then it's set. Trez is coming back next week. You heard it. You heard it here first, folks. And the Discord. This is going to be a new thing. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being on the show. All right, so again, we got about a minute and a half. Shout outs to Wrestling Soup. Make sure you go to their Patreon. Just for $5, you get everything, literally everything. Same thing with DTKC. You get everything, including Dark Chronicles with Miss Trez here, and another friend of the show, Kevin Castle. Then you got Texas Podcast Massacre. Good friends of those. Been on the show twice. They do horror movie reviews. I'm trying to speed through this because we're running out of time. And then you got Tyler, the Trademark, his podcast. Listen to that. Pretty cool dude. A friend of mine named Peter. He has a Peter position. You can find him on Podbean and Spotify. Julian from the Wrestling Court. Another good friend of the show. Good dude. I know I'm forgetting somebody. If I'm forgetting you, I'm sorry. Pretty much thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone who supports the show. Thank you to everybody that showed up. This is fun. This is a fun idea. It's more interactive with people. We're definitely going to do this next week. This is going to be a permanent thing for the show. We're going to be on Discord. I'll make sure to post it on Twitter just in case anyone didn't see it. So
hopefully by then I'll be out of Twitter jail.
Oh yeah, hopefully if you don't offend somebody again.
Ugh. Yeah, I know. Apparently, I gotta just be all smiles on Twitter these days.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Shout out to the radicals. Yes.
Shout out to the radicals. All right, thanks, guys. See you next week, same time, new channel. Peace.